Today I am joined by the smartest man in fantasy football, the man who makes it impossible for you to get ADP values, the man who had 6 teams in the semifinals last year, the man who frankly sets the market for this activity that we do. Let's see if we can learn anything from him. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer. All right, GM, everyone. We are joined today by one Mr. Michael Leone from EstablishTheRun.com. Michael, how's your offseason treating you? You just got done doing the projection podcast with Ben Gretsch over at Establish the Edge. If you guys have not listened to those yet, you should go check out Establish the Edge over on YouTube. Did you learn anything during that process with Ben?
Oh, always learn stuff with Ben. Yeah, it's fun doing all those podcasts, and you really learn a lot about like where your convictions are, where you might be a little bit more uncertain, and just different ways of looking at things. And it's kind of a fun process because there's like equal things that I'm maybe surprised that we completely agree on, and then other things where we're like totally opposite on. So it's always a good exercise.
Yeah, I heard you guys were setting up a draft cheat versus Siege X boxing match about Jaden Reed. I heard that there was going to be sort of, like a physical confrontation over how likely it is that Jaden Reed was going to be playing in, 2 wide receiver sets. So
yeah, it's contentious out
scary
there.
Stuff.
Funny thing is I like Jaden Reed. Just
everyone likes Jaden Reed conceptually until it comes time to press the button. And you also you want to know a real easy thing about Jaden Reed. Real easy to click him, Michael, on July 31st when you're doing all these best ball drafts. You know when it's hard to click Jaden Reed? When you're spending $2,500 per draft in the Fantasy Football Players Championship main event. Much more difficult rubber meets the road situation on Jaden Reed there. So we are obviously, look, it's almost August. We're going to draft a team today. But I also pulled up the Best Ball Manifesto, which is free over on Establish the Run. If any of you guys have not read either edition of the Best Ball Manifesto, it will certainly make you a better player at the game. We're obviously not going to go through all of the information in this, but there's a high-level summary based on all this data, all this study that Leone did last year. And I just kind of want to check with him and see in this draft environment, has anything changed? Is he thinking conceptually about any of this thing different? Now, I think this very first takeaway here, this high-level summary, that real-time ADP value is surprisingly almost as impactful on the expected value of a team as closing line ADP value. I think that actually makes extreme sense because it will generally be really indicative of a slice of time during drafting where something that ends up not being true is happening. And it could be anything from Joe Mixon is falling, sometimes 40 spots in drafts right now, but it turns out his hurt little foot is actually fine, to we think Quinshon Judkins is getting suspended, and he is, just all kinds of things. I think at the end of the day, real-time ADP value, it is probably just the single biggest signifier of a good fantasy football team.
I think people too sometimes underestimate kind of like the snowball rolling down the hill where, you've got a decision in round 4, you've got a receiver you like that has around 5 ADP, and you reach for that receiver, right? And you give up some value. Whereas if you're willing to take the ADP value and gamble a little bit, maybe you get the receiver you like better anyways in round 5, and it kind of snowballs in terms of, how good your team can be making that one decision. You see it with stacked quarterbacks. Sometimes you push it, you get greedy, and you can end up with an extremely good result. It doesn't always work out, but you kind of have flexibility to pivot when it doesn't work out. So I think sometimes people look at it too much of like, we're just saying the market's 100% correct and we're not correct about player takes. That's not everything.
That's exactly it.
That's not exactly it. That's part of it, is that the market is probably pretty solid, but the other part is people who are just getting their guys all the way throughout a draft are sacrificing so much value. And then you combine that with like, what are the odds they're right on like 8 different picks versus the market in the same draft? It's probably pretty low. 1 or 2, yeah, you might be right. You want to make sure you get those players. But yeah, so and Jack this year did a article on ADP value, and we did it based on like draft capital. So
Right.
based on like the last 3 years of Ball Mania, we kind of determined like how much a pick is quote unquote worth. And 44% of teams got positive value using that, kind of metric.
Right.
And teams advanced out of the group stage round 1, 19.4% rate. Those other 56% of teams advanced 14.5%. That's massive difference. That's slicing it obviously very binarily, but I like his article this year because he broke things out and sliced things up a little bit differently than I had in the past. And it just continues to reaffirm that ADP matters.
Don't tell a certain segment of the audience about that. All right, moving on further here. I think this is a pretty interesting point that ADP capital, accounting for where in the draft value is gained or lost, is a more predictive measure of success than raw ADP value, which effectively, if I'm understanding that correct, which basically says that the more expensive the pick, the more likely the pick is to be correct. I mean, which is sort of what you would expect, but people don't draft that way, including myself. Like, once you have made the initial declarative that ADP matters, and I like to follow ADP, it's kind of hard to get to round 12 or round 14 and then throw that out the window. Like, oh, look at this sick ADP. I just got Adam Thielen in the 18th round, or I just got Cade. Like, you know what? A guy that this happens to me with personally is Cade Otton. I'll be there in the 18th round. I don't even like Cade Otton. I have Cade Otton ranked way below ADP, but sometimes I get there and I'm like, dude, this is like a 45 pick value on Cade Otton. So I actually need to rewire that amongst myself a little bit, because not only is not only should the market be less certain, like the median draft slot, or I guess the mean draft slot of guys after, I don't know, pick 110 or something should be much wider. But it's hard to actually do that once you're already anchored to the number.
Yeah, the change in draft capital from like pick 22 to pick 32 is about 10 points. If you look later in the draft, what's Cade Otton's ADP, like 180?
Yeah.
So that pick by itself is only worth 10 points, let alone a change. Right. If you were to look at how far he would have to fall to get the same ADP value from like pick 22 to pick 32, Cade Otton, you'd have to get him essentially with the last pick of the draft. And that's where the difference between pick 180 and the final pick in the draft, 216, is 10 points of draft capital. That's the same as the difference between pick 22 and 32. So obviously picks are worth more earlier, but that's also not nothing. I think sometimes people think ADP goes 100% out the window late.
Right.
And when I kind of refreshed the ADP capital, it started to get I think the market's probably getting a little bit better at the later round picks. And when I kind of refreshed everything, it seemed to matter a little bit more later than when I had done this a couple of years ago.
What are some of the changes you're making in like your personal play in this current environment? Like when you go into these drafts, like it is a year in which we've seen a small shift back to the running backs. Honestly, not as much as I anticipated, frankly. Like in the middle of last season, looking at this current season, I was thinking like, oh my goodness, Joe Mixon is going to be a 3rd round pick. Alvin Kamara is going to go at the 3-4 turn. It hasn't been as dramatic as I thought. Has that led you to more aggressively draft running backs? Like, is there anything you're actually doing quite differently?
Yeah. No like huge changes. I think the market's in a spot where, of course, everybody kind of reads things through the lens that probably favors the way they like to do things the most. So I'll caveat that this way, but I do feel like the market's in a spot where you can start wide receiver heavy builds or running back heavy builds. And I kind of feel like I handle that well because I'm willing to do either. I'm not like an ideological drafter where I have to be like 0 RB or I have to be hyper fragile. Like I'll kind of mix that with the value, and then I kind of know how to make those builds work. So I am with you. I don't think the market has overreacted to the running back stuff. Mixon before the injury, I take him in the 6th round. Like he really didn't move, So one thing I'm trying to do more of in general is I've kind of shifted this at different points during this offseason, but I think in the past I've taken too many wide receivers. I want to get to 8 wide receivers.
That is my number one thing. That the 8th, like I kind of just had this little bit of an epiphany moment where I was like, dude, if you really need Darius Slayton, this team sucks anyways. Like you should have just donated this to St. Jude or something. Like if the only way that you can bandage together this broken fantasy football team is to select Jalen Royals or Dontavian Wicks or Deontay Johnson, like either you hit the right permutation of wide receivers to generate the point. You could have a 16 wide receiver team, and if none of them are point scorers, then what is the point? Like that's kind of where I landed.
Yeah, it's also we're probably drafting receivers earlier than maybe not like more than the casual market, I guess. So when you are drafting, 4 wide receivers through 7, that's when your point really comes to fruition. It's like, things kind of went wrong if we're starting Darius Slayton. So I have in the past had such a mindset of like, draft is if you're right. Like, so I'll maybe lean towards 2 quarterbacks or 2 tight ends, or I'll do kind of these really fragile, hyper fragile builds with like 5 running backs that maybe could use a 6. And because I always felt like I needed to get to 8 wide receivers. So I'm definitely more cognizant of stopping at 7. I think most of my teams are 7 wide receiver builds, which is a big switch from the past. Most of them are 8. I'm a little bit more cautious about getting like 3 tight ends this year than I think I've been.
Cautious in the sense of wanting to do it more often or less often.
Wanting to do it more often to be just a little bit safer there. We talk about injury rates at running back versus wide receiver, but tight end is the position with the highest injury rate, and also a little bit in half PPR, the one that you just get a touchdown on a given week.
Well, surely you have been hip to the 3 quarterback meta that has been happening as a result of, a lot of different things, but, shady advice, sacrilegious, and Karane's tool. Well, not the tool itself, actually, the Sims that Shady did. You could just see like this unbelievable rise in all of these quarterbacks ADPs. Where do you stand on the 3? Because this is something you and I have discussed before, where kind of early on you're drafting in May and June and you have so little clarity on these, backfield situations and things. Just made sense to take a 3rd quarterback. I feel a little bit less strongly about that now that camp is actually happening.
Yeah, I started very heavy 3 quarterback teams, and the research I've done in the manifesto kind of matches what Shady and Sack in their Sims. In terms of Best Ball Mania in particular, having like the 3 stacked quarterbacks when you get to the playoff rounds is kind of like a uniquely good thing for Best Ball Mania. There's very few things, honestly. Like I'm very skeptical of most strategies where people are like,
dogmatic.
This is particularly good for Best Ball Mania. Like I think most of the strategies that are good for Best Ball Mania are just good for like any best ball format. And I know a lot of people will harshly disagree with that, but I think people go way overboard with like galaxy braining Best Ball Mania in particular. But I think the 3 stacked quarterbacks is definitely an exception to that, where it's not that much worse for the regular season than 2 quarterbacks. And then it has some like profound benefits for the way the playoff format works. So, and you compound that with just the way this year sets up. I love quarterbacks 10 through 22.
Yeah.
Dak, Caleb, Lawrence, Love, Stroud, they're all so stackable. I can break ties early in the drafts with wide receivers to give me like max flexibility, so that I don't have to reach on my quarterback and can still get to 3. I like, JJ McCarthy, Tua. Like, I love that whole range. So I've been more 3 quarterbacks, but when I gamble and I don't get the really good stack ADP value on that 3rd quarterback, sometimes I'll let it ride and just take 2, because I am starting to like. I think we are in a phase where some of these running backs that go late are gonna move up. So we're like in this
Oh,
middle
you're already
ground,
seeing it. Taj Brooks, Ja'Cory
but they haven't
Carson
moved up
Merritt.
a ton though. Like, I guess my point is we have information to
You
make
just
those
wait and
picks
see till
better.
we're about to hop into this draft. You see Taj Brooks is going to go in the 15th round of this draft we're about to do.
I've been getting those guys the last few days still in like 17, 18. Giddens is another one. So I think we're in a range where we feel better about the late round running backs,
right?
But they're still more or less just as cheap. You might not have all of them at your disposal in round 18 or 17 now because they're moving up,
right?
But it's rare that of the like 5 or 6 that we feel better about, that they're all gone by around 17 to 18 or whatever. With that said, I do probably have too much Tyler Shuck in my portfolio.
No, come on, man. Tyler Shuck is Tyler Shuck and Jackson Dart are just good. Like, they don't feel good. You're not even anticipating them playing that well, but they are just good bets. I mean, let's just I think you got to be honest about it. Like, Tyler Shuck is a quarterback who projects for like 9 games kind of at a minimum. So I think you probably just do it. All right, let's go.
A ton of A-Rich though. I'm definitely betting on that one.
That was actually going to be my next question is did anyone learn anything from the Justin Field experience last year with Anthony Richardson? And it's sounding like the answer is no.
Well, I mean, A-Rich is a way better bet than Justin Fields was bet last year, like significantly so. In my opinion.
Significantly better, yes, in the sense.
I mean, he's more likely to start more games, and he's more likely to have a better per game production than Justin Fields. He's better in both regards.
Hey, look, man, I'm back on it. I'm drafting him, but this is I don't know if you're hip to the blind slapping seal, but Anthony Richardson is the blind slapping seal play. I mean, we could just be.
No, I don't know the blind slapping seal. I'm too much of a boomer. I mean, we're talking about a joke inside of a joke inside of a joke. So Jacob told this story on ADP Chasing about these blind slapping seals at this marina in California, and they had to close this marina down because people would feed these seals, and the seals were going blind from just staring up at the sun at this marina all day. So they literally had to close this marina because people wouldn't stop feeding them. And basically the Keandre Lambert-Smith, the Anthony Richardson, the Jalen Warren, the Jaden Blue drafters, we are the blind slapping seals. Bijan or Jefferson? I'll say, I mean, Bijan. Let's pronounce
it man, here. Gosh darn it. I've been really good at that. I've been locked in on Bijan.
You didn't say Saquon, I noticed.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't. Well, because I'm respecting average draft position, Michael.
Fair. With the hammy thing on Jefferson, I'm not like super concerned by it, but I just think it makes it pretty easy to just not take him right now.
No, I think you just respect. I think you just respect the market. My opinion is the first round is roughly correct right now. I don't want to take any huge stands there, so I'm going to be I'm going to be a market respecter.
Dude, Saquon at 5 is just crazy though.
Like
we've just all gotten bored. Let's be honest, we've gotten bored.
Or was that where he actually should have gone the entire time?
No, I don't think so. In half PPR, I don't think so.
In half, sure. In half PPR, it's a good price. What do you think about Silva's Gibbs 101 take? I mean, where are you at on that with him?
I mean, Gretsch is with him on that, and I think Siegel is too. I think it's unnecessary. I get the argument, but it's like if we're heading into weeks 15, 16, 17, and David Montgomery's not hurt, like Bijan and Saquon are going to outproject Jahmyr Gibbs in half PPR. Like they're going to. So I just feel like it's being a little bit too cute in my opinion. I don't think it's like egregious, but I just don't understand why you do it. I don't think it's the pick that gives you the best chance to win. It might look awesome at the end of the year, and his ceiling at the very tippy top percentile outcome might be higher than Bijan and Saquon, but it just seems unnecessary to me. The running back fantasy points are going to regress in the offense. I don't think David Montgomery is going anywhere significantly, even if it does shade more to Jahmyr Gibbs. So I guess I just don't totally get it.
I mean, I get it. I'm not drafting it that way because I'm afraid of David Montgomery. I mean, let's just like to be clear.
Like if you're doing your best to try and win, throw ADP out the window. You're just drafting one team and you're trying to give yourself the best odds to win. Do you really think Jahmyr Gibbs over Chase, Bijan?
No, I
think
probably Bijan at 1 is probably most, like my truth serum would be that's like the most, like it's most likely that he's the best player in fantasy football.
Like Bijan's 75th to 95th percentile outcomes are all better than Gibbs.
Are so good.
So like,
well,
sure, maybe Gibbs 95 to 100 is better, but like,
I wonder if maybe that's not even true because you have to handicap what percentage of the time David Montgomery is either injured or dust, like can't play anymore. Because
why do people think he's dust? Like I don't. There's no information.
Well, he was
available.
really bad when he came back from the knee injury last year. Like horrible.
He came back for one game, like too early.
Well,
what do you mean,
buddy?
You're acting like that's a big. He came back for literally one game.
Make a pick.
He hit 7 carries. I'm irate at this. I don't know. Why don't you upload the ETR ranks, dude, or use the ETR?
I will upload the ETR ranks.
I don't really. Actually, I like Chase Brown better than Bucky. If we're truth serum,
okay. We can't. You know what? I will.
I'm gonna make you do a 3 running back team as a result of.
I don't care.
This David Montgomery was really bad coming back. They rushed him back for a playoff game. This is a horrible. Trey McBride, like he's dust in the future because they rushed him back for one playoff game and he was bad on 7 carries.
Leone, you are not understanding what I'm saying, brother. I'm not saying that is my opinion. I'm saying that is, you have to handicap that to some degree. He is a 28-year-old running back returning from a knee injury. That is not a system that you can universally apply and say we can expect David Montgomery to play to the back of his baseball card with those priors.
All right, that's fair, but throwing out the playoff game as like evidence when he had 7 carries for 28 yards.
Leone, I'm being nothing but fair and balanced, and you are losing your mind on me.
I'm losing your mind. This is our usual interaction. You have a legitimately good point, and then you ruin it by hyper focusing on something like that's
all right, folks.
Just distracts. This is our usual relationship.
This is the first time I've used any other human being's rankings this year. I really honestly don't even have a clue what well,
who knows what's going to happen.
That's not true. I do bake in leg up and ETR rankings into the sheet that I use to port my rankings into. Like before I reconfigure my rankings, I bake in ETR and leg up into ADP, and then I work on my stuff. So it is not true that I don't have any idea what these rankings are going to be. But where do you have
them live?
Where do you have Amari and Hampton ranked?
Pretty early. I mean, he's starting to come up. We have him ranked 28th. If you were just going, so very early.
Wow, ahead of market on a rookie running back in a backfield with a dusty old. Very proud of my spreadsheet brothers over at EstablishTheRun.com.
I am so skeptical of all the third-round wide receivers that I
know
started
they're
to
all
take.
so bad. They're all
Yeah.
terrible. They're like JSN, McLaurin, awful. So many, like, there are huge reasons to doubt every single one of these. By the way, Rashee Rice at pick 30 there. Someone didn't get the news. That's a no-no. All right, Leone. The Establish the Run ranks are in. We do not have a wide receiver yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to make you draft a 10 wide receiver team with Darius Slayton after we had that whole conversation.
I'm happy to do whatever you want. George Pickens.
I'm a Pickens. Pickens is one of my guys this year.
I am a super Pickens truther. He has been so held back by his environment. He is an absolute mega dog. All right. Hurts goes. He actually kind of would have been a fun. Then we really could have cranked wide receivers. All right. Sutton is by your rankings. Flowers, Waddle.
I saw your. I mean, I would take Sutton, but I'm fine with Waddle. I would take Sutton or Waddle.
Let's do Waddle. I can't get ETR'd out too hard back to back on Sutton. I mean, to be fair, Herzig was absolutely correct. We should not have taken Travis Hunter over Courtland Sutton, but it was like that might be the only big dog team that I do, and it is way more style points to win the big dog with Travis Hunter than it is to win with Courtland Sutton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah. All right, here is our team. It is Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor. No, wrong team. Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Trey McBride, George Pickens, Jalen Waddle. We're not going to win the wide receiver bucket.
Nope. But hey, this is where I was talking about the 3 quarterback stuff. We already have 3 quarterbacks that start to go in the range where you can take 3. And I love just building out the flexibility and then not having to reach on the quarterback.
I'll tell you, I kind of hate the individual prices on the expensive quarterbacks, if that makes sense. But quite often I get in these rooms and I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I should just take Jaden Daniels over Jackson Smith and Jigba, like maybe just an absolute target merchant on half PPR is a worse pick than Jaden Daniels, who's absolutely electrifying. Nez wants you to handicap Jackson Smith and Jigba targets for him.
I'll tell you what our projection is, if that's helpful.
Yeah,
that would not.
Yeah,
be
get in the spreadsheet, man. Get in there. Start doing like a Levitan tweet, but in person, where you're like, we have a 49.7% drop back rate.
We have 117.7 targets for Jackson Smith and Jigba.
117.7 for a third round guy in half PPR.
Our projections run conservative in general, though.
Conservative, sure. 117 is like undraftable at this price.
The thing is, I like him most of those third-round wide receivers too.
Ah, my goodness, man. That is not a lot of targets. That is 6 more targets than Jonnu Smith had last year. Do you guys do any game trimming? He's like only projected for 14.7 games or something.
We don't do it directly on games, but we're just kind of conservative with our overall target share, just knowing kind of where those end up. So we're not necessarily saying 14.5 games, but so our final target share projection on him is 21.4%. But our
surprises, Jacoby Myers is at the top of the EstablishTheRun.com rankings here.
Yeah, sort on ADP. Let me see, what do we got here? Yeah, I'm probably Jacoby with our wide receiver spot here, man.
God, you know what? Honestly,
you took Waddle. He's gonna offset.
Huge missed opportunity by me. I don't know how I did not put Jacoby Myers on the thumbnail. That was the most obvious thumbnail candidate. I went with Adam Thielen and James Conner because I googled oldest players at their position in the NFL. And James Conner and Adam Thielen are two of the oldest, but huge miss by me. All right, we have a 2 3-1. We're back up. Jaden Reed is here. It's David Montgomery by your ranking. Golden, Godwin.
I'd probably take Oh no, we took a tight end. I'd take Montgomery.
No,
It's who I would take.
Too late. We took Jaden Reed.
That's my fault. I was
You gotta be locked in. You gotta be locked in.
That's my fault.
When we're at the turn. Yeah, you are the Emperor Palpatine of the Jacoby Myers Industrial Complex.
I mean, what does he have to do for people? I don't
score a couple touchdowns, maybe. I don't know.
He did that last year, and people are still like, well, sure, fine. He did it last year, but
yeah, but other than that, dude, other than him literally having 1,000 yards and like 7 touchdowns last year. Jacoby Myers, by the way, 129 targets, only 4 touchdowns last year for Jacoby Myers.
He only had 4, really?
Yeah. Now
I stand corrected. That's good for him, though.
It's good for him.
Leone,
I
remember. He scored 8 the year before. He's been like fine in the touchdown department. I just remember Levitan and DFS being like, I can't play this guy with no ceiling, and then he would like put up these ceiling games. Like,
well, he had 130. Well, actually more. He had like 170 straight targets to start his career without a touchdown.
Yeah. He also went 10 for 121 in a week. I think it must have been this final week when he went 9, 123 and 1 that Levitan was really feeling it on the Jacoby Myers stuff.
Now, Leone, taking David Montgomery there, justify yourself.
So I didn't absolutely love the receiver. I'm very ahead of market on David Montgomery, and he's going at a price right now where if he's 80% of what he was last year, he's fine. If he's 100% of what he was last year, he's paying off the tag. And if Jahmyr Gibbs gets hurt, he's absolutely smashing the tag. And then we kind of get into this fun, like very high quantity of wide receiver build, like where we're taking like literally like a 4 running back team, 2 tight end team, and then everything else is wide receiver and quarterback. And sometimes I like, getting those extreme builds.
Now, where do you stand on the Donte Thornton versus Jack Bech wars, of which there honestly, I was about to say there's good people on both sides, but there's only a good person on one side. There is a side in which there are good people and there's a side in which there are bad people. So I hope you're about to pick correctly.
I, at this point at cost, take more Thornton than Bech.
Oh my God, dude. It's all right. My Leone is committing January 6th on my channel right now. You guys are watching him do it.
I'm kind of surprised. I thought that's the side you'd be on.
No, dude. I want the 2nd round pick who outproduced Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors when they were teammates versus a guy with 900 career receiving yards in college.
I mean, I'll take them both. That's fine. You know me. I don't need to have an opinion. I'll just draft them both.
Yeah, sadly, I'm really heading in that direction with a lot of my teams. All right, we are up in 2 picks. We have a 2-4-1. I did move Jalen Warren up in my rankings to a Leone-esque position today, actually. I think he probably would be who I would pick here, but I would also take Shaheed.
Yeah. You would take Shaheed here. I'd probably take Warren here.
Okay. Well, we might be able to get them both. We should be able to wait around on Dak.
These 20-second clocks kill me, man, when I'm on streams and I can't see a ton of the players. I can't sort it the way I want to sort it.
You gotta be locked in. You have to be locked in. Now,
all right, you want to go I'm assuming Kyler's gone.
Or Dak.
No, Shaheed.
Okay. God, you know what? Absolutely hate drafting off someone else's rankings because it just throws me off to look at the queue.
Look, we're both thrown off. We're both pissed off. So this draft's going to turn out great.
I mean, I can't even say that I dislike your rankings or anything. It just straight up, it just throws me off. That's really all that it is, because it's just not what I'm used to looking at. Hey, Keon Coleman, some good buzz on your boy Keon Coleman. He might not end up being the worst wide receiver in the NFL. How are you feeling about the Bills passing game and just in general?
Keon Coleman, he of a higher yards per route run and more routes than
higher
Ricky
yards per route
Pearsall.
run than Xavier Worthy and Ricky Pearsall. Ricky
But
Pearsall.
like we're just gonna act like he doesn't exist because we don't like him.
Honestly, I truly believe this. I think that the way that a portion of the fantasy football community feels about Liam Murphy artificially holds down some Bills players' ADP. I really like Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman should be slappy favorites, but because Liam loves Dalton Kincaid, some people are just like Kincaid sucks and they can't see past it.
So this is putting the tinfoil hat on, not a conspiracy thing, but like if you look at Keon Coleman's first half of the season, it looks like he was starting to have kind of a legitimate breakout before
Then he got hurt.
He goes 4 for 125 on 7 targets. He goes 571 on 7 targets, gets hurt in the Miami game, misses 4 games, comes back and doesn't, play much. So I think he's a solid value. I like him a little bit more than our rank. I think in general, there's a chance this team throws more and is a little bit more condensed than people are like, rightfully scared of what happened last year. But I think what happened last year was a pretty bottom percentile outcome for the pass catchers, which isn't to say it's a super favorable situation. I just think there's upside, beyond what we saw last year, unless Josh Palmer plays like a significant role.
Oh, I don't even want to know the Josh Palmer ranking. I'm probably about to see it. We're at 119, so I'm probably about to see the ETR ranking on Josh Palmer. You guys got to have him ahead of market.
I don't think we do because we're a little bit ahead on like the other 3 pass catchers.
Okay.
Coleman, Shakir, and Kincaid.
All right. We are up Leone in 3 picks. We do not have a quarterback. Dakota Prescott is available. Our running back, Bijan, Bucky, and Warren. Kyler's gone, so we have Shuck, Love, Geno, Tua, all still live.
This person in the 1 spot should not be taking a quarterback. They took 2 stacked quarterbacks already. But I don't know if you want to risk it or not.
Who are we risking it for? It's like it would be like for like Tootin. Or we could take our second tight end. We could take Loveland or Njoku.
All right, we could just take Dak if we don't. I'm just saying there's a good chance Dak comes back.
There is a good chance.
But we also might want to go Dak, Jordan Love here.
Dak, Jordan Love, or Dak, Tua, whatever. Because Tua probably is not going to.
I think we want to do Jordan Love and then push Tua. And if he comes back, he comes back. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But
yeah.
man,
if I was drafting
Loveland and Njoku out of the he's stacked. Njoku versus
I love Njoku. I have a YouTube short scheduled to come out tomorrow about David Njoku.
I'm guessing you want to do Njoku then.
I don't care.
I do love her Njoku. You can love her Njoku.
Let's do Njoku and try and get lucky.
Then we're just closed out at tight end.
Let's do that, or let's try and get lucky and let's try and take one Mr. Tyler Shuck. Man, David Njoku is actually like the most mispriced player in fantasy football. Who plays quarterback for them that makes him the tight end 11? It like Deshaun Watson comes back. I got a good stat for you. How many fantasy points per game in non-Deshaun Watson games in David Njoku's career? Give me a guess.
How many what?
How fantasy points per game in non-Deshaun Watson starts for David Njoku?
11.
Since 2021, since he signed his contract extension, it's 13.4.
Is it in half PPR?
That's probably full PPR.
That's probably full. That's still really good though.
Yeah. It is full PPR. But basically Deshaun Watson is not in. It's a printer machine. And actually, if you want to tell yourself some lies, you can say, well, Shadur has this really weak arm, but he's really accurate. So just give David Njoku all the screens and stuff that for whatever reason Deshaun Watson couldn't do. I'm a huge David Njoku bull. He actually my most drafted tight end is Brock Bowers, but Fannin. Talk about a Freudian fantasy slip there with Harold Fannin. Do you have Harold Fannin as draftable on DraftKings even?
We don't, but I do take him late in the right kind of teams.
Now we have Gesicki and Fant together on the Bengals. All right, Leone, this is our team. We have Dak Prescott, we have Bijan Robinson, we have Bucky Irving, and we have Jalen Warren. Even if we would have gotten Montgomery, we still would not have been done at 3. George Pickens with Dak, Tua, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Reed, Rashid Shaheed, Trey McBride, and David Njoku. Tua is still there. Cameron Ward is still there. Michael Penix Jr. is still there. I'm pretty bullish on Cam Ward, but that might be. I don't know if that is a universal opinion. I did see the very funny quote where he was like, "We're mid right now," which was a very good quote from him. All right, what do you want to do with this pick? Are we just hoping to get Tua?
We probably have to, right? I mean,
don't really see another way around it.
Show me the board. Yeah. What's the board? Samson would have been nice.
Dubs, QJ, Algier.
Dobbs. Jesus.
Isn't it Dubs?
Sort on ADP. No, it's not Dubs.
I mean, I do actually think Girindo is an awesome pick there. Bigsby too. Bigsby would be my pick here.
What's our running back room? Would that just kind of close out? That would close. Oh no, it wouldn't close out.
Bijan, Bucky, Warren.
We're probably taking 2 more. I was gonna say we probably should have taken QJ with our wide receiver room, but at this point, I'd go running back for sure. Whichever running back you prefer.
All right, let's go Tank. There we go. All right, we have generated now Dak Prescott, Tua Tagovailoa, Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren, Tank Bigsby, George Pickens, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Reed, Rashid Shaheed. If we wanted to, we could be done at quarterback. We could also take Geno. We could also take Shuck. We definitely need a minimum of 1 more running back. Or we just absolutely keep pounding at wide receiver. Where are you at on the Jacksonville Jaguars backfield, Michael? Are you an ETN slap? Are you a Tootin slap? Who are you slapping in the Jacksonville Jaguars backfield?
I'm just taking whenever any of them falls behind ADP, I'm taking my shot. And you'd be amazed like how high of a percentage you can get on all 3, even just drafting them after ADP if you're okay, like not picking and choosing ahead of time which one you need to take. I'm probably lightest on Bigsby because I went into the offseason kind of betting against Bigsby and really hoping that both ETN and Tootin could be valuable and trying to correct that a little bit with all the camp buzz around Bigsby, but also not trying to totally overreact. I think at the current cost, Tootin's probably the best pick of the bunch, though.
Man, I don't know. I don't know between Tootin or Bigsby. I mean, if
Tootin and Bigsby are going to go close, and it's got to be Tootin.
That's a very funny answer from you, like Mr. Logical consistency, because Tootin is such the slappy pick. But like, Tootin is the thing that Tootin offers that Bigsby doesn't. Is Bigsby is not going to score any fantasy points over expectation, which is what you need for these like Bucky Irving style smashes. The reason why Bucky was so good was not only did he get the work, but he was also very efficient and very good with it. Bigsby is not going to get significant receiving work. There are probably scenarios where Bigsby has like 9 receptions on the whole year. Like Bigsby gets 180 rushes and like 9, like very LeGarrette Blount-esque. And Tootin and ETN handle a ton of that work. Whereas were Tootin to win the job as an early down rusher at some point over Bigsby, he could just be the mega smash.
Yeah, and I mean, Bigsby caught 7 passes last year. Like, I mean, I know where he goes. He doesn't need to catch passes to be a decent pick, but Tootin certainly has more upside in that department than Bigsby does.
Yeah. Okay. We are up in 4 picks. This is your ranking. Eckler, Wandale, Bryce Young, Zach Ertz, Roschon Johnson,
Jack Bech.
Jack Bech. This is your
just get tight ends off
ADP
the
list.
screen.
We'll take tight end off. I actually don't know how do you do that.
I think you got to do it the annoying way.
You click it backwards.
I mean, we're like, we need wide receivers, right? I mean,
we need wide receivers big time. And it's now sorted by your ranking.
Okay. You like Bech? We could go Bech. Bech between ADP and rank is like up there. You want to go Bech?
Yeah. I mean, I like Wandale too. I like Wandale obviously a lot less in half point PPR. He's a better pick on DraftKings.
He's an okay pick for this team, though. Can you scroll down to our wide receivers?
Yes. Our wide receivers are George Pickens, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Reed, Rashid Shaheed, and Jack Bech. One thing I will say is if we want the services of Geno Smith, he's gone already, so never mind. Here you go. Choose a wide receiver. Jalen Knoll would probably be mine. Or Slayton.
I think we just go 2 quarterbacks here. I wouldn't take Slayton this early. I mean, I'm not taking Slayton 25 picks ahead of ADP here.
All right. We balanced our range here in which we selected Jalen Knoll and Jack Bech to go with our Jalen Waddle and Jacoby Myers selections. You know, a little annoying, honestly, to have missed out on. Geno went very early. Geno went at 156, so maybe not that annoying.
I mean,
I guess that
basically said we're probably going 2 quarterbacks once we passed on Love for Njoku.
I think you're.
And then it was just kind of like, if we got super lucky on Geno, or if we get super lucky on A-Rich coming back. A-Rich is gone already. He went before we even picked at that turn. So yeah, we're just going 2 quarterbacks. It is what it is.
All right, fair enough. I mean, the point that you made was the 3 quarterback stuff obviously makes sense, but you shouldn't be paying through the nose for it. You shouldn't.
There's still benefits to, like, there's pros to only taking 2 quarterbacks. Like there's some of the advance rate stuff for 2 quarterbacks is very good. It's just you lose kind of a distinct advantage that you get in the playoff rounds when you do 3-stack QBs. Like, we could add Shuck onto this team. He's stacked with Shaheed late. I'm not sure. I think that's like an option. You know, I'm not like totally ruling it out, but I don't think it's like mandatory that we get the 3rd. I also like Dak and Tua a lot, so I don't do that.
You know what? I was about to say, it's kind of one of those things that I do a little bit more vibes based. Like, if mine is, what's funny is one where I almost always take a 3rd is Kyler and JJ McCarthy, because I'm like, well, I've done the Kyler thing for my entire adult life, and he always lets me down, and I can pretend to be as confident as I want about JJ McCarthy, but in my true heart of hearts, I just know that dude could be Josh Rosen at the drop of a dime. So I do take a 3rd, and those guys are on that side of the board because so often you'll have Justin Jefferson and one of Harrison or McBride. So like a lot of the times in that combination, I take Anthony Richardson or Tyler Shuck just as a little bit of a, just a little bit of a pick me up, like having your second cup of coffee at you don't always need that second cup of coffee at noon, but sometimes it helps, All right, we are up.
We got 16th round Brashad Smith and Giddens, by the way.
I told you. I told you.
We got one more running back pick in the chamber, right?
Yes, and I bet we're gonna disagree on whomst it is, and I'm interested to see
Darius
which one.
Slayton probably makes sense for us.
I think we should take Jaquavius Woody Marks with this pick.
I like Woody Marks quite a bit, but I have a tough time taking him ahead of Shipley.
One of them could just be a starting running. We could do Shipley. But Will Shipley is never starting a game for the Philadelphia Eagles without something catastrophic happening. Woody Marks could just lead the Texans backfield in touches week 1 as things sit right now.
Why don't we just take them both?
No, I think our wide receivers actually suck. So give me a wide receiver.
We still could get to 8.
All right, let's take Marks, because there are actually last round Dallas wide receivers that we can take. Now, Leone, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye and explain this Noah Brown ranking.
I plead the fifth. Dude, he's a viable 18th round pick.
I mean, like, whatever. He's fine, I guess. I don't know.
Dude, what's your issue with Noah Brown?
My issue with Noah Brown is kind of the same thing that I have.
He's the third wide receiver there. He's going to play the third. He's going to be their third wide receiver tied to a really good quarterback. He's like not that bad.
Maybe I just conceptually view the 18th round differently than people who are good at best ball. But so often I look at these guys who are viewed as like very strong 18th round picks, like Ray McLeod, Tyler Lockett, Josh Reynolds, DeAndre Hopkins, guys like that. And I go, if that's what I need to win, then what's the point? I should just do something else. Like I should go.
I feel like if you went in round 16, you wouldn't care, but because it's round 18, you're like, we can't do it in round 18. We got to take an upside. It depends on your room too, right? You do have some rooms where you're like, okay, we're covered. Like we just need to take the shot on the rookie that like. Let me
actually try and explain this in a way that is rational and is data based. I feel as if the market is making a degree of certainty about who the wide receiver 3 is for some of these teams, where I can tell myself lots of stories about who the wide receiver 3 is. It could be Jalen Lane, it could be Luke McCaffrey, it could be a lot more 12 with Ben Sinnott. I don't even think Noah Brown is bad. A player I think is definitely bad is De'Ami Brown. Now that's not going to matter because he's going to play. I actually think Noah Brown is like kind of a fine player, roughly. I mean, he's got one career 100-yard game ever, including his time at Ohio State. He hadn't had a 100-yard game since high school until he had one last year for the Washington Commanders.
How many 100-yard games do the rest of these guys in round 18 have?
Jalen Lane had more 100-yard games in college than.
What about at the NFL level?
Slayton, a ton.
Dude, I'm looking at Noah Brown, and I see a 172-yard game and a 153-yard game. You told me he only had one.
With Daniels.
You're just talking about with Daniels?
Yes, I was saying there was a time when Noah Brown played at Ohio State and for the Dallas Cowboys where he didn't have a 100-yard game.
Okay, well, I thought you said he had one for his career, but maybe
his first one was last year.
Yeah, and he had 2, and he went over 150 yards in back-to-back games.
I'm taking offense to a ranking that is really just emblematic of a systemic problem I have with fantasy football. Should we just take him? Should we just take him as the bring back as our bet after we argue? I think we have to.
I hate not having. Yeah, I mean, we probably should take him on this team. He makes sense on this team, right?
Or Turpin or Tolbert.
Noah Brown makes more sense for this team, I think. Right? We get the bring back. We took 2 rookie picks in Bech and Noel. I think Noah Brown honestly makes sense for this team.
Also, a revenge bring back was let go by the Dallas Football Cowboys.
Revenge bring back.
How many revenge bring backs are you going to see?
You
know what? He caught the Hail Mary. No, that's right. Noah Brown was the one who caught the deflected Hail Mary off Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah, he's like goddamn legend.
I had forgotten that. Now, I'm
great, good job. You had fucking positional restraints on. You didn't actually fucking take them. Great job, Davis.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Who did we actually take?
We took Pat Freiermuth. Good job. Great job. You can't ever just click draft. You gotta let it run down.
Well, no, I was letting you talk. I can
talk after you make the selection.
That's actually that's the worst pick in the player pool too. That's like so bad.
I disagree, But for this team, that's a really bad pick.
Oh, can you
Like, we
imagine?
already maybe should have taken 9 wide receivers, and we were going to stop at 8, and now we only have 7.
Can you imagine
When we lose?
This team gets to the final.
No.
It's the Commanders against the Cowboys. Jane Daniels is going nuclear. He's just left and right. Touchdown here, touchdown there. Clock's ticking down. Another Hail Mary. Bounces off the hands of a Dallas Cowboys defender and lands in the arm of Noah Brown. I can see it. And I don't love it. I don't love it at all. All right, Leone.
Whew, okay. We're rusty.
So,
we're rusty drafting together. That's all right. We got one in the book.
It's been a while. I actually forgot that I had those positional restraints on from auto drafting the mini Dalmatian. I had the 3, 5, 7, 3 or whatever.
Someone's not out here drafting hyper fragile running back teams with those positional restraints.
Not when auto drafting. Can't do a hyper fragile auto draft. But yeah, it's the I do always forget that. It happened to me. It happened to me once last year, and it gave me Geno Smith in the 18th round over Sion Vaki. So that one worked out. Geno Smith was a very good pick in fantasy. All right, Leone, this is the team. Dak Prescott and Tua, Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren, Tank Bigsby, Will Shipley, Woody Marks, George Pickens, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Reed, Rashid Shaheed, Jack Bech, Jalen Knoll, Trey McBride, David Njoku, Pat Freiermuth / Noah Brown.
Pat Freiermuth might score as many points as Jonnu Smith, and he's completely free.
They're both really bad picks, I think.
I think they're very clearly the number 2 and number 3 targets for Rodgers, which, that's not saying a lot, but for third tight end super late, I think they're totally fine.
I mean, sure.
I think they have a smidge of upside that the market's totally discounting, I guess. And they have like a little bit more flow. I think they're good picks for where they go. Now, in this room, if you force me to take a tight end, I'm definitely not taking Freiermuth with McBride and Njoku. Like, that's the room where I'm taking Fannin or something. Well, or we should obviously just not taking a tight end, but can't have it all.
Well, look, you can't have it all. And that's okay. I mean, you never know. Some people dogmatically take 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends, all the time. Leone, do you have anything in particular you want people to be directed toward? Do you want me to put a link to Establish the Edge in the chat? I bet a lot of these people don't even know about Establish the Edge.
Yeah, throw Establish the Edge. All our rankings are over at Establish the Run. Also, I've been drafting with the Solver draft assistant that automatically takes in the ETR ranks, which to me is useful because honestly, just from an organizational standpoint, it's just like less likely you miss something.
Buddy, don't I know it? Don't I know that
you do not have to memorize all these schedules?
No, I'm saying organizationally, I never would have taken Patty F if we would have had the tool. I just don't have the Solver tool installed.
Well, the other issue was, refusing to click draft on Noah Brown.
Leone, that was done for your bet. I got in the habit of not clicking draft because I was waiting for you to make your GD mind up while we were picking. Because
I had made it up.
You were having trouble locking in for the entire draft, so I had gotten into the habit.
All right, that's fair. It wasn't my smoothest draft. A little bit of an ETR rankings issue I had to chime in on. Wasn't my smoothest draft here. I do get that other thing when I draft with Pete and he has the assistant up, it does help me because
of course
I can't see a lot of stuff. Like, you're used to controlling things. It just cuts out like the riffraff.
Yes, I know.
It just like cuts out the unnecessary information very quickly. And then you can focus on the 4 or 5 guys you actually want to decide between.
I use the tools all the time. I just don't have the Solver installed. Here at the channel, we are always going. Leone, I go with the highest bidder. And Solver has yet to make a bid for real estate on the Davis Maddock YouTube channel. I know that my boys Nez and John use it and really like it, and I'm sure it's a great tool. There you go. We have solver stands in the chat. Leone and my friends, they do great work. Everyone at ETR does great work. I linked Establish the Edge in there. Leone, I'm doing a marathon stream next Wednesday. Dink told me he's in, Silva's in, Peter's in. Do you want to hop on, or are you busy?
I'm on vacation next Wednesday. I'm from the 3rd to the 8th. I'm out of town.
Where are you going?
One last hurrah. Just to Ithaca, New York. It's a few hour car ride, going with the fam, doing half glamping, half hotel.
Nice. Have you been golfing?
Oh yeah. I try to go once a week.
Okay. What's your handicap?
You're gonna make fun of me. It's so bad. I actually tracked it for the first time.
I'm not gonna make fun of you.
It is, but I keep a pretty legitimate score.
I also keep a legitimate score. Yeah.
The only thing we do, sometimes we play a white stick OB as a red stick OB. It's the only thing we do.
Maybe this is not the rules, but I play if I can see my ball, I'm gonna play it.
No, that's not the rules.
I know it's not the rules.
It is for the hazards. You can do that, but if it's OB, like white stick OB, OB's OB, and you have to re-tee. You can't just pull it out where it went in. We play. You can drop where it went in if it's white. But dude, we play with some people and they wanted gimmies on 6 foot putts. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
No, that's preposterous.
I just don't get it. Of course, now I'm
yeah, I'm a 14, but I'm a 14 that can shoot a 100 at any given time because I do not hit the ball far enough to consistently give myself birdie opportunities.
Got it. I'm extremely volatile. I have very good distance. I'm a 22.8, 23.
There's no shame in that. And you could beat me on any given day because I've shot 80 or I've shot 81. 81 is my lowest. But I did literally shoot 103 last week.
Yeah.
Or 102.
I just can lose it so quickly. My repetitive swing is so bad. I can be playing great. I was playing the other day. I was 4 over through 7, and I ended up shooting a 103 or something.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if 14 is as low as I get, and that I by the end of the summer might be 17 or 18 because my game is trending very much. And I kind of had 2 really good rounds pulling my rolling average down that at some point will get expunged. You're more than welcome to hang out and get the equity on this draft, or you can leave. I don't care.
I gotta run just because we're having a little bit of a crisis that I need to attend to. So.
All right, guys, there you go. Fires have to be put out at Establish the Run Industries, brother. Go put them out.
Thanks, Davis.
All right, later, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, guys, there you go. Mr. Leone over at EstablishTheRun.com. Thank you to him for hanging out. We're going to hang out and draft some more Best Ball Mania drafts because I am behind pace of getting to the amount of drafts done that I want. We are drafting out of the 8 hole here. Oh, I have the freaking ETR ranks in. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh, I'm going to have to adjust this on the fly. All right. Will I be able to do this on the fly without breaking anything? I was like, why do I have Amon-Ra St. Brown there? Okay. Got my sheet in. Save. Okay, actually, I was being a little bit dramatic. That was a lot easier. No, sorry. Not drafting off the ETR ranks. Love Leone. Love my friends over there. But the reason why I wouldn't do it is, can you guys imagine me winning Best Ball Mania and then getting to the end and having to thank Leone? I'm not gonna be thanking now. Leone has stuff that works. Like Leone has input in my stuff anyways, because I do bake in ETR and leg up rankings into my stuff to some degree anyway. You're acting like Mahomes after a sack with the ranking swish, bro. All right, we are back up. And London. You know what? Let's do something funky. Let's take Lad McConkey. I don't think I have any of that start. All right. I need to share the right screen. There we go. Now I can get my real-time assistance tool pulled up so that I can actually draft a good team. Here we go. Now I'm locked in. Oh, but my window is shrunk. How do I get in? Oh, because I'm searching. How do I enter the draft, bros? There we go. All right, folks. Probably going to draft, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these before we do ship chasing today because I am behind pace in Best Ball Mania. How rare do I think a Puka BTJ start is? That's very rare. That's very rare, and I would definitely take it. That's got to be one of the combos. Probably not 5 hours today. I would guess probably less than 5 hours. I would like to get to 70 Best Ball Mania drafts left. That would be ideal. So kind of however long that takes, which I really don't even know how long that'll take. But we've got a Puka Lad start, and let's cook off that. So the pace is 75. I think I am fine. But I will be taking a week off of streaming to do not a week off of streaming. I'll be taking a week off of underdog drafts to do the final DraftKings Best Ball week. So I'll need to be very locked in before that in terms of underdog. I didn't really move Gesicki down that far, honestly. I don't think Noah Fant should change the weight on him that much. All right, we have a Puka Lad start. This is about to be a Breece Hall ass pick. Maybe we do elite quarterback. Breece or Lamar. What do we think, fellas? Let's do, you know what? Let's live a little. Let's do Lamar. I moved Mark Andrews up a little bit in my rankings. Yeah, moved Drew Sample way down. I don't think we will see Warren in the 7th round. To some degree, there is a ceiling on what Jalen Warren can be, at least in my opinion. Maybe you guys don't think that. Honestly, and maybe the market won't think that either. DK Best Ball Week 2.0 will have a ton of live drafts. The reason why that stuff was mostly pre-taped was because I was out of town. I was at the lake. But Best Ball Week is Best Ball Week. I've probably taken Taysom Hill a couple times on DraftKings, but doesn't seem like a particularly great pick. That was so bad. Taking Pat Freiermuth was so bad. Drafting some Best Ball Mania contests over on Underdog Fantasy, Mr. Big Boy. I think what happened to the 1080p is the default setting changed on, and I can't change it. Once I've started a stream, I can't change it. Oh, Kyron went. That's annoying. All right, let's do back-to-back Pickens teams. We'll try and draft a better version of the team we just drafted with Leone. Yes, sir. Best Ball Mania. Do I like the round 1 wide receivers or running backs more? I mean, I guess the wide receivers, they seem better. I did see Ben Johnson gushing over Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland's a good player. Really shouldn't. I suppose it really shouldn't be that surprising that Ben Johnson's first ever draft pick as a head coach at 10th overall was Colston Loveland. There you go. There's the chat overlay. George Pickens to the third, the cabal has spoken. Is Worthy over Marvin Harrison Jr. crazy? I mean, I had Worthy over Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, brother. Did you see Caleb is missing pass protection? I did see that. I mean, I'm not gonna get over my skis at all on Jaylen Warren, because I think a lot of the thesis statement of Jaylen Warren is still true. Like, Jaylen Warren is who he is. Jaylen Warren has been in the National Football League for 3 seasons. He's kind of just mostly been okay. We really like Jaylen Warren. It doesn't seem that the Steelers are that crazy about Jaylen Warren as a player. They have given him 12 games with double-digit carries, 1 game with more than 15 rushes. He's been involved as a receiver, but Davis versus Gumby match play. I mean, I would not be surprised if I closed Gumby out by a whole 9. Okay. Man, this is actually going to work out. These 0 running back starts from the right side of the board, because you can slap 2 of those aging running backs together pretty easy. Could do Hubbard here, Harvey, Kamara, Henderson. Really, any of these guys is completely fine on this team. Flowers goes at 53, so we don't get him, which is a bit of a bummer, because I am trying to... After hearing Karain make the case for Flowers, I think I feel like I need to be drafting a little bit more of him. All right. Sure. You know what? A little bit of James Conner. James Conner is on the thumbnail. Let's honor the thumbnail. I think there's a good chance that Warren is just the Aaron Jones, 57% of snaps back as opposed to recent years. Tons of third-round rookie running backs don't play at all. That is kind of what I arrived at. I disagree with the whole of Liam's point that he was making to me on the stream yesterday, but I think he is hinting at something directionally accurate, which is just that the inertia of the incumbent is pretty hard to overcome at a certain point. Just being the guy who has been on the team a lot of the times has value, and that is not something that I was weighting properly. So I'm trying to weight that a little bit more properly. Pulled Warren up a smidge and dinged Caleb Johnson un poco, just a little bit. Wow, it is only 10:15 a.m. right now. I've been cranking drafts. Well, there you go, Caleb Johnson. Here we go. So here's an opportunity to do something a smidgen different. I wonder what the sidekick is. Sidekick is probably just going to tell me to take Olave and just figure it out later. Yeah, whatever. Chris Olave, come on down, brother. We're slapping him. We're slapping him good today. Moved from Mountain Time to Pacific Time, and now I spend every morning being shocked at how early it is. True. The inertial incombination is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Caleb Johnson has to be a little bit better than an average running back in camp to earn some of the high value snaps in the Steelers offense. Now, Steelen is of course making a key point here, which is that if you think just like a rookie missing a couple blocks the first week of practice, like we don't need to go crazy. My reasoning of wanting to be a little bit lighter on Caleb Johnson right now, although like, for example, if he came back around to me at pick 80, I would be smashing him here, is that the way I'm interpreting the Steelers coaching staff and what they've said about the backfield is I think that they think that Jaylen Warren is their starting running back right now. Now, I think they obviously took Caleb Johnson for a reason. I think they like Caleb Johnson's size. I think they like Caleb Johnson's ability to like break tackles on the interior. I anticipate him to be a much better, frankly, interior runner than Jaylen Warren. But it will be a, what is the right way to say that? It'll just be, honestly, it's kind of one of those things that will just shake itself out in the middle of the season to some degree. Like whoever plays well, that's what's like. If Jaylen Warren is awesome, then Caleb Johnson's not going to play that much. If Jaylen Warren is kind of banged up and he's I got this hamstring thing, I think that you could see like 20 touch games for Caleb Johnson coming right away. How Jover would the Saints passing game be if Jake Haener gets any actual run? Very Jover. Insane, like couldn't be more Jover. If they can't get anything out of Rattler, and if they can't get anything out of Shuck, it's so Jover. Wow, and that's how it's done, folks. That's how you do as your running back team. You just get huge ADP value on David Montgomery, and you just move on. Jake Haener from Fresno State, I believe. Jake Haener. Did I get it? Gosh, that guy knows ball. He sure does. Jake Haener from Fresno State. Shout out to you, Davis. He did get a start. Yeah, he did play last year. The game is beatable. The game is absolutely. I've never been more confident that the game is beatable. Never been. I did go to the Villa game last night. Unbelievable. Ollie Watkins with the headed goal. Unbelievable, man. Very, very cool. I actually cannot believe I got to see them play. I never in my life thought I would see a Matty Cash to Ollie Watkins crossed headed goal. So sick. What is the best possible Shuck outcome? Rookie year Davis Mills, 10 points per game with 2 low 20 weeks. I think a bit better than that because Davis Mills obviously no running and a good amount of running possible for Shuck. Shuck, more athletic than you think. Here we go, folks. The rise has started. Jaylen Warren to pick 89. My Rome bags are feeling better and better every day. Good for you, man. Yeah. Well, Shuck had DeAndre Hopkins, right? Or Davis Mills had DeAndre Hopkins, so it can't be that crazy. Can't be that much of a difference. Yes, you are wrong about this. Sorry, brother. Hate to do it to you, but Tyler Shuck is in fact more athletic than you think. There you go. 9.3 RAS for our boy Tyler Shuck. Sorry, brother. Nuke was still in great. Well, DeAndre Hopkins and Tyler Shuck, the same age. I've been saying Shuck. Yeah, the comp you would, I mean, if you're a big Shuck guy, the comp you want is Bo Nix. I don't really think Jonnu is that good of a value, but Leone was just saying he thinks he's a good value. I will for sure 1,000,000% be going to the World Cup at Arrowhead. Is Jaden Blue slowly becoming the running back one? Probably not. He's probably like he's the lightning to the Miles Sanders thunder. Every team is a Brashard Smith team, Beefcake. Will the Saints even have a single player over 10 fantasy points per game? Probably one of my worst opinions this year in general is that I believe that the New Orleans Saints are going to be kind of okay on offense. Like, I think they're going to be like the 27th best offense or something like that. Got Rashi at 55. Is there an update I'm unaware of? I mean, he is suspended. Well, he's going to be suspended. He's not been suspended yet, but he will be suspended. Probably for 4 games. Maybe 6 games. I think really unlikely for 2 or 8, but I would say those are like, I don't know, 2% of the opportunities or whatever. Yeah, Olave just is like, he has one of the best volume projections. Bang, Mark Andrews. This team is actually cooking now. So we have Lamar Jackson, James Conner, David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Puka Nacua, Lad McConkey, George Pickens, Chris Olave, and Mark Andrews. That's really nice. Crane famously talked about Tampa a couple years ago as though they wouldn't gain a single yard all season. Then they won the division. I mean, I did that. I did that with Tampa too. I was not alone on that. I think the one of the best comps for that is also the Seahawks. Everyone thinks the Seahawks are going to be terrible. Just catching up here. If you play your ball, if you can see it and it's OB, you can't say you're a certain handicap. Also fair by me. I have never claimed and would not claim to be good at golf. I just work on my game. I certainly would never claim to be a good golfer. I just like the game. Oh man, I would almost maybe even consider taking Tylen Warren here too. You know what? Okay, I was about to take Joe Mixon. This really is the range where you can take him. Oh man. How far after ADP is this for ETN? This is really far after. There you go. Leone, that one was in honor of you, Michael. Leone, wherever you are now, there is ETN 20 spots after ADP. Thoughts on pairing Rice with last round Royals? Seems like Royals is the fill-in with potential to force his way onto the field over Hollywood. I mean, I don't hate it. I just have done the experiment with rookie wide receivers with the Chiefs so many times. I mean, just so frequently. You know, who was your favorite 0 at wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs? Like of all the zeros you've taken, you know, I have a lot, you know, who is your favorite Justin Ross, basically? I've taken a lot of them. D'Anthony Thomas was a fun one. Have you rewatched Mulholland Drive to find Laura Palmer and Renette Pulaski in the Silencio Theater? I have not. That's probably a good one to do after the season starts when I've got a little bit more time. Carson Steele, DeAnthony Thomas, Justin Ross, Sky Moore. Darwin Thompson might be my favorite Chiefs zero. I'm not trying to get over my skis on any Kansas City Chiefs zero. My favorite Kansas City Chiefs zero is Brashard Smith, though. Who's your guys' favorite Kansas City Chiefs zero? I think Brashard has got to be the best. I am also still drafting Rashee Rice. Yeah, Darwin was special. Darwin was truly a special zero. Okay. We have a 1-4-4-1. Man, I think we need to do Kyle Williams here. I could just take Herbert. It's Kyle Williams or QJ. Is Herbert gone? Let's do Kyle Williams. I kind of panicked there. That was a little bit of a panic pick. Kyle Williams at 128. Oh, Richie James was a fun zero. Sammy Watkins was a fun zero. If you've ever said the words, "I'm afraid Elijah Badger will emerge in Kansas City," you might be a slappy. Oh, Ronald Jones took Darwin Thompson in my home league and told everyone I just took the sleeper of the year. Scott, you know what? I think that Sky Moore or Darwin Thompson absolutely has to be the answer. Trey Lance playing 2.5 quarters tonight. I have a nice little underdog pick'em cooked. Hope you guys saw that YouTube short and or video. Man, am I about to take Jared Goff at 137 and backstack him? How do you even I guess we're gonna find out. I can't be that bad to take Jared Goff at 137. Welcome to the team, Isaac Tesla. Hampton is gonna get the first carry of the game for sure. Oh, Josh Gordon. You guys remember that Josh Gordon was a Chief? How many of you guys remember? I bet you guys don't even remember this. How many of you were there for this? Where were you? Dylan Laube and Rasheen Ali were on the 20K lineup last year. LaShawn McCoy scored points for the Chiefs, actually. By the way, I think that certainly was the correct pick there. Even if Jared Goff is unstacked and uncorrelated, I kind of think the same thing about, like, I was doing this thought experiment with myself the other day. Like, let's say, where did Joe Burrow? Okay, Joe Burrow went at the 4-5 turn this one, but let's say the Joe Burrow drafter passes on Joe Burrow at 72, 73. Let's say this guy goes Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and let's actually say he has Chase Brown. So Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown. He passes on Joe Burrow at 4-5. He passes on Joe Burrow at the 6-7. So what I was trying to work through mentally with myself the other day, and Leone would have a better answer for this than I would be at what point should some of the other drafters between pick 74 and pick 95 say, I'm doing backstack Joe Burrow, or I'm taking Joe Burrow unstacked, uncorrelated? I think probably the break-even point is right about where Mahomes and Purdy and Baker and Nix go. But I wonder if it's maybe a little bit before that, because Burrow's raw passing projection is so much better. He obviously he does have backstacked options, But I don't think it's this simple. I do not think it's as simple as this happened to me in the puppy and I snapped him at 74, because you are so unlikely to have the week 17 winning combination there. Like you get to the point of doing like, let's say you ran a sim for week 17. Doesn't even matter the price you paid. It could be 18th round Burrow. Your sim with Burrow, with Gesicki, Yoshi Voss, and Burton is just going to project in terms of actual expected value of that roster like so poorly in the final. Even if Joe Burrow is, like, let's say he's projected for 24, you are all right, we're up. I'm not going to take Hunter Henry here. Let's do Jalen McMillan, the guy I'm trying to get a little bit more exposure to, a little bit of early season production. It's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Multiple touchdowns from Yoshi Voss doesn't really matter in a final, probably. Yeah, like this, I would not do. I would not take Burrow at 74. I don't think. Well, Shady, obviously I'm lying to some degree. 18th round Burrow is overstating it. Maybe more like 12th round even. Just for the sake of experimenting. Like I'm wondering at what point does it even out, because the Chase and Higgins scores are such an insane part of it. Like the Chase and Higgins scores and their relation to all right. I don't really want to take Hunter Henry here all that badly. Whatever. I guess we'll do it. You are cooked if Burrow spikes in week 16 and you have to face the Chase. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Shady, give us a Sims of 18th round Burrow. Tell us what we see. I'm curious. I mean, obviously I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers to any of this stuff because I'm not a math guy. Not really what I do, because I'm not very good at it. Okay, this is the team. Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff, James Conner, David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Travis Etienne. My goodness. That is a Leone tribute room if I've ever seen one. James Conner, David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, and Travis Etienne Jr. Leone, gone but never forgotten. Puka Nacua, Lad McConkey, George Pickens, Chris Olave, Kyle Williams, Jalen McMillan, Mark Andrews, Lamar, and Hunter Henry. Yeah, honestly, Brady, that happens, bro. You get back in the gym, you start startling your body a little bit. Back in the gym, got a fever. I mean, I'll buy an ETN 20 picks after ADP dip. I mean, obviously, I'm not crazy about it. I don't think ETN's very good, but my degree of confidence is not so much higher than the market. How high is too high to take Pickens right now? I don't know, brother. I could see taking Pickens in the 30s, frankly. I can't really say that it's wrong. Yes, I will. Ran a batch of Sims in my head where Jermaine Burton was a responsible, well-adjusted adult, and that was the only Burrow backstack that gets there. People are just so pilled by relatively efficient salary market DFS with weeks of projections that their intuitions just aren't that great about it, what it means for a draft game in July. Yeah, Shady. I'm just gonna be real with you, bro. That is me. That my intuitions are not particularly strong for this game. Let's do Justice Hill with Lamar. A little bit of J Hill Lamar. I don't think that Amir Abdullah signing with the 49ers on a camp contract really means much of anything. I think that Amir Abdullah is a good camp body who might make the team for special teams. Jordan James is not dead. You guys are crazy, dude. He is a fine mix in week 18 guy. Your Jordan James big board bags and my Jordan James bags are still okay right now. Is there an argument to take Chase Brown right after JT above Bucky? I just think Chase Brown projects worse than Jonathan Taylor, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. All right, I'm just going to be too annoyed if I don't get him, so I'm going to take Isaac Tesla right now. Never know who's watching. Yeah, dude, call me when Tevin Coleman signs. Well, you have to remember the sidekick is screaming Brashard Smith at me because it has my rankings in it, and I have Brashard Smith ranked very high. I think the news on Isaiah Bond is that he will not be playing professional football. Well, maybe the UFL. Will Isaiah Bond sign in the United Football League? Only time will tell. Never deny yourself, Brashad. I am being a responsible drafter this year. That is what I do. Colts offensive line orders of magnitude better. Yeah, that's definitely true. I also have 0% Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson and the New York Football Giants passing offense, honestly, actually, I'm probably fine if the Giants passing offense is a really good situation. I'm definitely not fine if it's Russell Wilson though, because I'm big on Jackson Dart. Forgot his name there for a second. Big Jackson Dart guy. I should do a draft stream with Shady. We should set that up. I'm happy to profit from Shady Advice's great work with the sidekick. I tell you what. It is sort of difficult actually to draft without it now. I mean I still do, 70% of my drafts on my phone or whatever, just because of that's the way time works. If you want to get 2,000 drafts in living life the way I live it, you gotta draft a lot on the phone. Okay, we're up. We have a 2-5-7-2. We don't need a third quarterback. We might need a third tight end on this team, actually. Speaking of which, let's take Theo Johnson. Third tight end there. Double up. Maybe you get Andrews missing. Shady, actually, I don't know this. If you put your own rankings into the sidekick, are you really drafting off their sims? I do not know how that interacts. So my rankings inside the sidekick on the sim, I actually really don't. I do not know how that works. How does Jonnu drop 50 spots in ADP when he gets traded to a team with only one wide receiver and a mid tight end? Because he probably is a dog to run 50% of the routes. Maybe 60%. What's the all right, let's say the line, Bart. What is the Mike Clay projection? Steelers, Mike Clay. I see Mr. Clay that has Jonnu is projected for 77 targets, which I mean, he feels about right. Who knows more, Ball, Shady, or Sack? Probably Sack. That's hard to say. I don't know. There's not really another lion to take. All right, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, come on down. What if Jared Goff and Isaac Tesla is what you need? Get very different suggestions from the sidekick if you toggle between leg up or ETR rankings. Makes sense. All right, you know what, T-Bear? T-Bear said, I think you're making money this year, Matic. Good luck. T-Bear, I'm going to go unblock you on the Swolecast channel right now. It's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. I'm going to the Swolecast channel right now, and I'm going into our settings, and I'm going to go unblock you. Look, I was gonna say Sack, but I didn't want to be rude. All right, settings, permissions. No, upload. There's somewhere in here. Community moderation. Hidden users. All right, T-Bear. You should be back in. I think. Okay. Quick sauce of the 6. Wow, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. No sore hamstrings in that room. Jaden Daniels at 43. Hope you got Noah Brown on this one. Alvin Kamara, this is the oldest fantasy football team in history. It gets even older by adding Deebo Samuel. Isaiah Pacheco somehow has the least healthy legs of this entire room. TJ Hawkinson, Travis Kelce, double tap. Ramondre, dust on top of dust. Are you doing a bit, Dave? Ramondre, Javonte, Eckler, Ford. I mean, let's just come on. Let's just give this man a hand. I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Of course, Darius Slayton was always going to be on this team. Of course. Incredible. Anyone dipping their toes into preseason DFS tonight? Yeah, 100% Demo Zone. By the way, I've been waiting for you to pop in. I've been waiting for you to pop in. So Demo Zone is a great man. Literally one of the greatest men, actually. People are saying. So Demo Zone went to the Pirates-White Sox game last week and got me this. I was waiting to unbox it until you got here. And he got me the Mac Miller bobblehead from Pirates-White Sox, Mac Miller Day at the ballpark. So shout out Demo Zone. Legitimate Nobel Peace Prize candidate for me. So if you ever see him around, you see him in the streets, you see him on Twitter, you see him in the Discord, you guys be very kind to him. I have this dude's back forever. He's a very real one. Yeah, he is a great dude, a great man, and truly made my life and my workspace and everything better. So shout out to him. He is a good dude. And I waited to unbox it until he was here. So every time you see that dude over there in the corner, think of him. And the answer is yes. I'll be posting some preseason NFL DFS stuff in the Discord tonight. So if you're a YouTube member, there's actually a tag that we have in the Discord, and I will just tag that information there. All right, boys. Let's go. Let's go do another one. All right. Gonna do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Best Ball Mania season. Let's even play.
The Davis Matic YouTube channel is made possible by viewers like you. Every subscriber, memby, and super chat goes to ensuring Davis doesn't have to work at State Farm. Thank you.
All right, there we go. We filled that one right up, which actually you love to see. Any PPR redraft mocks today? No, but I actually think that is going to be my video. I think that is going to be my video this weekend. I'm trying. I had 2 ideas for a video this weekend, and I think that is going to be the one. Thoughts on Drake London? What are my thoughts on Drake London? I guess my thoughts on Drake London are, I hope he's as good as his admirers believe. And I hope that Michael Penix Jr. is as good as his admirers believe, because there's going to be a lot of really disappointed people if they're not. Yeah, Lance to KLS. I've never been more excited, bro. Like, truly. Oh, shit, I'm pick 1. There we go. Bang! Jamar Chase. Let's see if we can push Joe Burrow to round 18. Freudian slip showing the picture of Josh Gordon after Drake London. Thoughts on DJM becoming Bears Debo? I hope so. I really do. The drop. Wow, do I agree with this, Adam? The drop off from Brian Thomas Jr., A-Chain, and Genty to London. It feels like a cliff. It feels as if you are jumping off of a mountain. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know, and it's probably not even accurate, but boy, does it feel that way. It feels insane. Ooh, I have about 900 unread emails. Tough scene. Are we all underrating that Ben Johnson might be a good coordinator and a bad coach? Really hard for me to see that being true. Do you guys think there's any chance that Ben Johnson is a bad coordinator? I don't think that is. I don't think that is the case. I would have a hard time. Like, Ben Johnson has like always been good. At least in my opinion. All right. London will outscore BTJ. I don't know. You guys think that's true? I think that's crazy. Best Ball Mania draft starts for Chase at 2. Bada bing, bada boom. Ben Johnson may be great, but there still may be growing pains for the Bears. Oh, I mean, I think the growing pains are a mortal lock. That feels evident. I think this is probably true that London is the last wide receiver with wide receiver 1 overall upside. I think that seems right about right. Sorry, boys. I literally just had to I just answered like 7 emails. What if Penix just sucks? I mean, there are certainly scenarios where Michael Penix Jr. is not good, right? AJB could be AJ. You know what? AJ Brown could be the wide receiver 1 in a very weird, like an extremely weird season for the Philadelphia Eagles. They would have to throw a ton. They'd have to get to like 570 passes or something. Every time I watch the stream and get an ad, it just doesn't play, and I have to close the stream and join. I mean, I'm sure, Nick, I bet for sure that you have an ad blocker. No, Charlie, you are a billion percent. The best ball market is drafting the Bears as if they've already become the 7th best offense in the NFL. Absolutely 1 billion percent true. I've never read such a truism. Oh, this guy is gonna get Bijan Tyreek. What a start, and I'm gonna be left with the dregs here at the corner. A little bit annoying. I don't really want to take Trey McBride on this one. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Maybe I try and do. Oh, there you go. Bang, bang, Reek, bang, Chase Brown. Set ourselves up to Burrow. So the reason why I took Chase Brown there instead of T. Higgins is now that Amarian Hampton never gets here, James Cook doesn't even really get here. You have to pull up Ken Walker or Chuba Hubbard. Sometimes you don't even get Ken Walker at 48, 49 to not do a true 0 running back team. And I don't always want to do that. All right. By the way, boys, a reminder for those of you who have not signed up. I do realize that I have not been doing my best possible ability to promote this, but something that I've been doing is the fast draft content. And I was actually just checking a little bit of the data, and I saw that fast draft has not done as well as some of the other promotions have. And they are, I mean, look, let's be real. Fast Draft is sponsoring this stuff. They're sponsoring the stream tomorrow. Liking the videos is fine, but truly, one of the best ways for you guys to support me is to sign up via a bunch of our, and you know what? Let's even do this. I even had this made. Have you already been grinding best ball? I want you to try Fast Draft. Full PPR, 15 rounds, 20-minute drafts, no rake in their big tournament, The Rabbit. It's sharp, it's fun, and most importantly, using code Davis, signing up through my link in the description, supports the channel. I don't know. Maybe we pull up a little Run the Sims and build a showdown lineup on stream. We could do that. Honestly, I don't even know what we have baked up for projections. Let me check, because I think we should have the ability over at Run the Sims to cook up something for this slate. There you go. Be like Clay. Clay's signing up right now. No desktop. It is just a mobile application. It's pretty perfect for pretty perfect for walking the dogs. Mobile app, ship it, small little tournaments. Oh, buddy, we run the Sims over here. Buddy, if I ever become as successful as Sal Vetri, I will have lived my life in an absolutely phenomenal way. You have absolutely no idea how successful Sal Vetri is. The fast draft match bonus is $50 in, $50 match, Jake. And I will post the link again for you there in case you lost it. All right, we're up again here at the 4-5 turn. So I mean, look, I definitely did the right thing taking Chase Brown. Let's take Metcalf. You know what? as your wide receiver 4, let's take Rashee Rice. I think these are kind of the right builds to take Rashee Rice in. Sion Vaki, dude. Sion Vaki. I love that we get to watch Keandre Lambert-Smith and Sion Vaki play tonight. Looks like we don't have anything up for preseason over at Run the Sims right now. Sal Vetri has a huge YouTube channel. He's really successful on like Instagram and TikTok as well. Sal is the man. Do you have Liam's Venmo? I need a refund. Hey man, don't be mean to my boy. What I think of Noah Fant on the Bengals is that Noah Fant is probably barely going to play on the Bengals. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. My plans on waiting and to manage content. Like literally probably as soon as like this weekend. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing. Open to any ideas. Yeah, Sal gets the normies, and he's really good at it, man. He's talented. There you go. My boys all make fun of me saying I think I'm Sal Vetri. It's incredible. Wow, there you go. Clay, a real one, signing up over at Fast Draft. You guys, I know, look, man. Do you guys like advertisements? Do you guys like, no, none of us like it. But first off, I like drafting on Fast Draft. But like at the end of the day, the number one thing that you guys can do to support is like when there's a partner on the stream, sign up with them because that shows them that I'm valuable and it shows them that you guys are valuable. The 11 hole is protecting the integrity of the tournament. Look at that. For no reason, man. Joe Burrow at pick 62. Ripping it off, brother. The main contest on Fast Draft is the Rabbit. It's $10. It's $10 to enter and $10,000 to first place. Yes, this is true. The rumors are that Run the Sims is working with someone sharp to provide portfolio optimization for their best products. Shady, I did hear that as well. Something that people might want to consider over at runthesims.com. People are definitely going to overreact when Keandre Lambert-Smith scores an 80-yard touchdown tonight. Oh, come on, man. I never thought I would be here in my life, but I'm about to just slam this button. I think I'm going to take DeAndre Swift and Isaiah Pacheco on this turn. Maybe. Let's do... Yeah, dude, let's do it. DeAndre Swift. This is a pretty good price on Addison, too, actually. Nah, dude, I'm doing it. Dude, it's a half PPR site. You got to take the running backs. And by people, you mean Davis Maddock. Yeah, I'm the person. I believe there is plans. I was talking to them the other day. I believe there is plans for them to get a desktop product coming soon, but it is unclear to me exactly how soon that is. Burrow unstacked is so funny. If he gets 2 targets and 1 catch for 13 yards, I think I took the higher on him, 26.5 yards, so that is not great. fulfilling my contractual obligation to draft every Chief in every draft. Okay. Pacheco is an awesome pick. Pacheco is only not an awesome pick if you think there's like this really big role for Kareem Hunt or Elijah Mitchell, which I don't really think is the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you guys think Kareem Hunt or Elijah Mitchell should be drafted higher? Because I don't really. I think most of us have late. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're probably not alone on this. That the end. Pacheco last year did look absolutely brutal. Davis, take Jimmy Horn Jr. and Spencer Rattler's higher before the season. I don't know, man. Does Jimmy Horn Jr. have stuff posted on Underdog? There's no chance. The one thing I appreciate from Davis' channel is he's not making videos on the top 5 players to draft and then run out of content a month later, and now those players should be faded. Well, I appreciate that. Never say never, though, man. Never say never. The Bills are due. Yeah, Pacheco did come back from a gnarly injury last year very quickly. He certainly is going to be better healthy. Now, you know, what does that mean in the end? I don't, because like the thing is he's not starting from a great talent base. Like, it's not like I think he is this incredibly talented. I don't think he's this incredibly talented player. All right, we're gonna slap it up a little bit. We're gonna take Keon instead of Michael Pittman Jr. And I'm actually gonna take Jaylen Warren again, back to back. Dude, what if the Aaron Rodgers stack is what you need? I think Pacheco probably won't be on the Chiefs next year. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Tate. I'm sorry. I do kind of have this issue where when I change my opinion on a guy, I really change my opinion on a guy. So like if I was kind of wishy-washy on Warren before and I decide I'm in, I take him like 6 drafts in a row. When was the last time Kansas City had a running back 1 in fantasy? Jerick McKinnon was a running back 1 in fantasy. Kareem Hunt was a running back 1 in fantasy. Pacheco was not a running back 1 in the end, but had a running back 1 level run in 2023. And I want to say maybe one of those Clyde seasons, he actually got kind of close. I want to say maybe... What was the 2021? 2021. Oh, Darrell Williams had a running back 1. Darrell Williams had for like 6 weeks, Darrell Williams was like the 5th best running back in fantasy. The stars are you. Man loves Rashard. Never forget Super Bowl MVP Damian Williams. I guess my opinion would be I do not believe that Caleb Johnson is going to be like this brutal in pass protection forever, but it'll probably keep up for a while. All right. The team is no quarterback. Chase Brown, DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco, Jalen Warren, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Rashee Rice, Keon Coleman. Also don't have a tight end. So I'm kind of struggling here. You know what? Let's take... Did Jordan Love go? Goodness gracious. Okay. Let's do Warren so I can take Richardson. And then, is there a quarterback I'm not seeing? It wants me to... I don't want to take Tua here. I'm picking at 122. Tua's ADP is... Bijan Robinson. Come on, tell me I got it in. I got it in. Has Davis entered a big dog yet versus what's his name? If not yet, what's the holdup? I did a big dog last Friday. Anyone else was welcome to join. Didn't see anyone else in there, Mr. Monster. So what does that tell you? Would be funny if Membies came on stream at the end of the year touting why they should be on your fantasy best ball lineup. That would be very funny. Maybe we need to do that. Damian Williams getting snubbed for Super Bowl MVP. Unbelievably frustrating. Never really seen anything more frustrating. I had Damian Williams to win Super Bowl MVP at 100-1. And he had 2 touchdowns and 150 yards and didn't win. Yeah, Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, Jamal Charles, and how about even Thomas Jones in there too? Oh, we're still drafting Tootin, brother. Tootin ain't going nowhere. You can't tell me you want to be done drafting Bijan Tootin. I am going to be dead with no quarterback. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. The QB bros are out of control. I'm going to freak out. Yeah. The quarterback bros are out of control. Bigsby and Jordan Mason, what's the difference? I mean, I think we just have more of a confirmation that Jordan Mason is a good NFL runner. Really, I suppose that would be all. I don't know. You're making some good points though. I don't even know what the over or the under is in this game tonight. I don't think Richardson's viable in 2 quarterback builds, but maybe he is. Yeah, Bigsby, don't get over your skis on Bigsby. Crutches is right. He still can be a 0. What's your thought on drafting players on the same team for a similar role? For example, Kirk and Jalen Knoll, Jacoby Myers and Jack Bech. I think it probably makes some sense, Chris. I obviously wouldn't do it a ton, but it definitely makes some sense. Man, who would you say your Chase Brown of 2025 is? My favorite pick. Honestly, dude, I really might not have one right now. Yeah, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt goes by the name Bill. I think it's a Bill Brasky reference. All right, so there we go. We did get Tua Tagovailoa. The haters tried to keep us down. They're sick. They're crying. They're screaming in the streets about how good of a pick that was. And we are also going to select Kyle Pitts. Again, just more screaming and crying and rending of the garments for the haters. The haters are going, Davis, you needed to take another quarterback there. Tua is your quarterback 1. That's never going to work. It's never going to work, Davis. You need 3 quarterbacks. Sacrilegious and Shady and Karain told me I needed 3 quarterbacks. Relax. We're still going to get 3 quarterbacks. Relax. It's going to be okay. No, guys, relax. I have a plan. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I do have a plan. line in the preseason Hall of Fame game is 32-35. Honestly, I'll tell you what I like. I like any Trey Lance higher. That's what I like. Just signed up for Fast Draft. Jake, thank you. That is a man who supports the channel. I had concepts of a plan here. Concepts of a plan. There you go. Kyle was in a draft with me this morning, and Anthony Richardson was my third quarterback. I've been exposed. I absolutely cannot believe we are going to be watching real men put on uniforms and play quarterback and football and throw the ball and tackle each other. It's been something that we've been thinking about for so long. Shart username. Honestly, we're not even watching backups to the real men. We're watching backups to the backups. Trey Lance. Trey Lance is about to be out here, bro. No, see, Hall of Fame game, normally exciting for like 3 plays. It's going to be exciting for more reasons than that because of Trey Lance. Trey Lance is electric, bro. Yeah, never, ever forget the Josh Jacobs Hall of Fame game, FUD. Oh yeah, Tesla baby. I don't think we're gonna see Najee. Although, let me just highlight something here. Najee Harris at pick 164. I'll be slurping the dipperino. Okay, you guys laughed. God, I hope you guys learned your lesson. Truly, I really hope you did. Don't ever doubt me again. Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, never, ever tell me that I don't know what I'm doing. Probably really late to the combo, but what are you using the combo ownership suggestions on the player screen? I'm in like 80 slow drafts, and that would help so much. It is a tool called the Draft Caddy. It costs $29.95 a month, but you can do month for month. And it is just it's basically just it's a really nice little tool. No, you guys are wrong. I have a plan. None of these guys will be starting week 10, but it's a plan. You guys are all wrong. I have Richardson and Warren. I have Tua and Tyreek. I have Aaron Rodgers with Jalen Warren and with DK Metcalf. This is a perfectly cromulent team. Exactly. Rodgers is going to get me through the weeks where Anthony Richardson doesn't quite get there. You guys are hating. drafting Freiermuth, but on purpose now. MBF registered on Fast Draft. He got the bonus. Thanks. Everyone, tell MBF thank you, because for every sign-up that happens, there's another chance that I don't have to go work at State Farm. The Slap Caddy, but instead of Clippy the Paperclip, it's Slappy the Seal recommending picks. Slappy the Seal. Should I just change the logo of this channel to Slappy the Seal? I think we might have to. All right. In the end, we have 3 picks left to make. We have a 3-5-5-2. Tua Tagovailoa, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Chase Brown, DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco, Jalen Warren, Byshell Tootin, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Rashee Rice, Keon Coleman, Tyler Warren, and Kyle Pitts. Honestly, yes. Slappy the Seal should just be hanging. I should get a real one made. I should get a plush Slappy the Seal made. You know what? I do take a little bit of Roman Wilson. I'm afraid to admit that in front of the audience. But yes. Just hopped in the stream. Tua, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers. Certainly something. Wow. GM Brett. If we are basing off Pokemon, what is Slappy's next evolution? We need a Poke Zach. Wow. We need to do Slappy as a Pokemon. You guys are calling me the Slappy. Ray McLeod just went at 190. And you're calling me the Slappy. All right, bang. Easy wide receiver pick here. Actually, you know what? With this group, I'm taking De'Ami Brown. Live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I'm not taking Brashard with Pacheco. We're taking... Oh, I don't want to take Taj Brooks either. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. JCM. Ray is so far to the right that he might be horseshoe theory. Yes. Trey Lance legacy game. Sometimes you got to just do a little bit of dynamic. Oh man, we absolutely have to figure out the Pokemon evolution of Slappy the Seal. If Slappy okay, well, what we have to decide is Slappy the Seal the furthest, highest evolution? Fun fact from Adam, Pokemon is the largest media IP in the world, so when people make fun of me for referencing it, they are actually the ones out of touch. You know what I wish? I wish in my life that I had time to play Pokemon. I think that would actually bring me a lot of joy. It really would. Like, I think I would have a lot of joy just like sitting in my room playing Pokemon. If we're going to talk about Pokemon, I'm going to go touch grass and draft on Fast Draft. He evolves to fully blind. I think Slappy the Seal has to be the final evolution. I did, yes. The article on why JCM couldn't play last season at Arizona. It's not even it's that his 2 schools before he redshirted and someone else wore his number. Exactly. The first evolution starts with vision. The first evolution is like a baby seal who's like trying to figure out in the world. The second evolution is one who's like started to go blind, but he can't go away from Dontavian Wicks. And then the full Slappy the Seal is the guy who's like slapping and taking Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt in the 17th round. Slaplet, slapping and slap. Incredible. Unbelievable. Slappy the Seal evolves into a walrus with tusks. Needs an eye patch on. Slaplet is the funniest thing. This is one of the funniest things anyone's ever said to me in my life. Okay. Another thing that's absolutely sending me. Imagine Imagine gaseous clay. Imagine trying to explain to your wife that sentence that you just said. Slaplet, slapping, slappy. Explain that to your wife and or girlfriend and or partner. Truly imagine. Oh, Ryan, Wix is the sun that the slappies are staring at. Okay, she might be on the journey, but imagine explaining to her the seal part. All right, definitely need a wide receiver. Where's Noah Brown? I can't even take Noah Brown. Is Roman Wilson there? Roman Wilson's there. Welcome to the team, Roman Wilson. Giga Chad meme, but he's explaining the Slappy evolution tree. Oh, man. That is good stuff. All right, how many likes are on this stream? There are 380 of you watching. How many? All right. If you guys get to 200, I'll do another one. We're 135. If we get to 200 likes, I'll do one more. If we don't get to 200 likes, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go. The worst part is I'd have to explain who Jacob is, a smarter and more successful lawyer to my wife. Look, I'm not shaming Pokemon. That's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you to imagine explaining that the concept of Pokemon evolutions in fantasy football, and then even explaining the entire concept of like, imagine explaining ADP chasing to your wife. Not even the Pokemon part. Just the concept of ADP chasing writ large. I am not a Trayshawn Holden slappy. No. Gonna go feed Murphy. Here you go. I don't know, man. She's pretty big these days. The blind seal did not go over well. Yeah, it's a niche within a niche within a niche, like sports niche, fantasy football niche, best ball niche, then like not even fantasy flock level niche, not even Ron Stewart level niche. What's the jump scare, Nez? You don't know about the Murphy clip? How many likes do you guys have? 173? 173, bro? That's not going to get it done. Who are the furthest? My son jumped. If slappy means what I think it does, then I'm a JCM. Yes, Big Breakfast. You got it. You literally nailed it. You didn't even need to be indoctrinated. You literally got it first time. Who are the furthest right wing slappy plick is Ray McLeod or De'Ami Brown. Furthest left wing slappy. God, it probably was Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt until recently. It's got to be. It just has to be Dontavian Wicks. It just there's no substitute. All right. How many likes? Guys, are you really going to make me go do... Because there's a project I'm working on that is not YouTube related that I have to do. And I could go do that right now before ship chasing. But let me tell you, I absolutely do not want to do it. It is hard. It's not hard work, but I am so much better at streaming than I am at anything else in fantasy football that I really don't want to go do anything else. Not that I'm even that good at streaming in the grand scheme of things. No, see, Jag, you would think this. You would think this. But the left wing slappies love Miles Sanders because they hate Javonte Williams so much. Basically, left wing slappy is like people like me who love like spreadsheets and combine data and things like that. And right wing slappy is like more film based, or what right wing slappy really loves is they love playing time. That's like the number one thing that that right wing slappies do. Like right wing slappies are like, why would you not draft this guy? This guy is gonna play 90% of the snaps. I would say that's actually probably the easiest way to do it. Is the left wing slappies are like, imagine what would happen if this guy played 90% of the snaps, and then the right wing slappy is, you don't even have to imagine because he already plays all the time. Yes, playing time versus that guy. Nice, 100%. Yeah, you guys are. You know what's funny, Mark, is Jaylen Warren used to be the biggest left wing slap. Jaylen Warren used to be Bijan Robinson. I think I have James Cook ranked. Yeah, I have James Cook ranked over Kamara. Yes, and they look and they go, dude, I took Alec Pierce in the 16th round and you took T. Higgins, idiot. All right, you guys have 196. I'll give it to you. I'll give it because I really don't want to go do real work. I really don't. So I'll do one more for 196. That's fine. Where are we at? How many more is this? 7. Okay, perfect. I said I wanted to get to 70 left. Got 70 left.
The Davis Maddock YouTube channel is made possible by viewers like you. Every subscriber, memby, and super chat goes to ensuring Davis doesn't have to work at State Farm. Thank you.
Here's the thing that you guys need to know about me, Joey. I go where the bills are getting paid. So when it's DK best ball week, I'm happy to draft on DK. But when it's underdog week, it's underdog week. DK week is over. The thing are we sure we need 3 quarterbacks? Honestly, dude, you were asking the wrong person. You really are. The only thing I'm sure of is that Sacrilegious, Pat Carrane, Shady, Leone, they all know more than me. Yeah. The next DraftKings week, best ball week, starts August 25th. Romeo Dubs is a right wing slappy pick. I will also reach across the aisle for him. Yeah. Next DraftKings best ball week starts on August 25th. I made BBM finals with 2. Well, Raymond Zanny won the Fast Puppy last year with 4 quarterbacks, 4 tight ends, 6 running backs, and 5 wide receivers. So shout out to my boy Raymond Zanny. Am I going to get... Oh, okay, Binks took him. I thought I was about to get Crane's still taking a lot of Warren, but being quiet about it for political reasons. I'm screenshotting that and putting it in our group chat. I'm putting that in my group chat, in the ship chasing group chat. Oh, that's really funny, Daniel. All right, bang. Christian McCaffrey. Golly. The slappy discourse is so funny. I don't know. It just cracks me up every time. No, I think this year's Bucky Irving is probably Bijan Robinson. JCM is this year's Adrian Peterson. Did 20-second clocks kill the fast puppy? I think, all right, my opinion is that I actually quite prefer what they are doing right now, which is they're just releasing a bunch of different contests. I like that better than the big, massive puppy. If you want to play in the lottery, go play in Ball Mania. You want to go play in the lottery? Go play. Let me take AJ Brown real quick. Wait, is Bowers gone? Yeah, Bowers is gone. If you want to play in the lottery, go play the Eliminator. If you want to go play in a huge big contest, there are the marathon, the sprint. I'm super hip to the 5,000 person, 10,000 person, 20,000 person, 50,000 person contest. I think they're phenomenal. That, I mean, you know, that's my opinion. Oh, I didn't do the timestamp for this one. 2:29:30 final BBM draft of the stream. Man, can't wait to be rich and to hire Liam's thumbnail guy. Has Liam's thumbnail guy been doing a good job? What do we think of Liam's thumbnail guy? Honestly, I don't care that much. Yeah, yeah, we are all, I would say what? It's a 5% chance that we get the slow puppy this year. Not a thumbnail, a timestamp guy, sorry. Timestamp guy. What is the reason for limiting the puppy sizes going weeks plus without a puppy contest entry? I think they are just doing these other small contests instead, which frankly, for me, my perspective, I prefer. My work computer screensaver today is a seal looking up in the sun. All right. McCaffrey, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams. Yeah, how about just list after list of freaking Hall of Famers? Sick start. The thumbnail guy for Pat Mayo does it for free. He's just a fan. He's literally just a Chess Liam fan. Need more Superflex contests? I don't know. I'm in 20 slow drafts for the German Shepherd, but Superflex right now, and frankly, it's a bit exhausting. I'm kind of over it. I've been doing about 1 billion. I am in so many slow drafts. I am in guys, I am in so many slow drafts. I'm in slow drafts on Drafters, on Underdog, and on DraftKings. They're not going to limit me though. They're not going to say that I can't draft 2,000 fantasy football teams. Honestly, Kramer, I really probably am not going to stream any Huskies because there's just not enough hours in the day, bro. Like, there just really are not, like, oh man, and Mike Evans. Is that 4 Hall of Famers? Yes. Nez has seen the light. Nez has seen the light. I've seen the light, and slow drafts are elite. I have never looked. I am going to be a father in November, and I might be as excited to watch KLS play tonight as I am to become a dad. I'm going to go pee real quick, so you guys are going to get this. You might be a slappy. Well, you might be a slappy if you cite Travion Henderson as a reason to not take the big dog. If you've ever drafted Genty and Hampton as your running back 1 and your running back 2, you might be a slappy. If you've ever drafted Jalen Warren and Miles Sanders together, you might be a slappy. If you have even conceived of the thought, the fan and bet, you might be a slappy. Yeehaw! The fan and bet, not the fan and bet. Slow drafts are for people who hate themselves, of which I certainly qualify. You guys don't even know, man. We literally remodeled my basement to get a bathroom down here. Literally like a multi-room renovation. All right. Christian McCaffrey, first ballot Hall of Famer. Probably not. A.J. Brown, Hall of Fame in my mind. Devontae Adams, actually probably a Hall of Famer. And Mike Evans, actually probably a Hall of Famer. All right. This one is for, you know what? Actually, I always do this. I never take the running back here, and I always regret it. Let's take Kamara. Because you get up to 66, and generally speaking, there's a running or there's honestly the 6th round's just kind of empty, but you like the wide receivers more. Is there any data comparing slow drafts to fast ones? There definitely is. Leone has done some stuff on this. If you check the Best Ball Manifesto. The thing about slow is there just are way more fast than slows, obviously, particularly in Best Ball Mania. Okay, well, what you don't want to see when you take Kamara here is, well, actually, wait, no, this is exactly what you want. You take Kamara, or you take any running back here in the 5th, you like to see all the other running backs go. Yes, you got it. You just kind of have to take running backs here in this pocket because generally speaking, there's going to be a wider. Sometimes you get Rum, sometimes you get Addison, sometimes you get Jennings, but generally speaking, there's going to be a wide receiver who comes around that I am. There you go. Debo goes, who I wouldn't have taken. There you go. Bang. I mean, that worked out exactly how I wanted it to. I get Juwan Jennings, so I double up on San Francisco stuff. So I have McCaffrey, Kamara, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, and Juwan Jennings. So I think my goal on this team is just to only take 900-year-old players. What's the most? That's a good question. Probably the absolute most I've done without auto drafting is 15. But I also have done, what was the contest? They were doing mini schnauzers last year. Do you guys remember that? Where they were testing out the amount of clocks. And I was doing like 50 at a time, or maybe like 40 at a time last year. The thing is that doing multi-table streams is it's not good. It's like the worst content imaginable. The dopamine burnout of doing 15 drafts at one time. I mean, can you just imagine the dopamine burnout of August? Just the dopamine burnout of I am doing nothing but drafting. Just like I am on the clock at all sun up to sundown. I don't know. Kamara probably won't be a Hall of Famer, but I feel like he should be. All right. I'm just going to go with my ranking here and take Golden. Woody Marks is I don't know. It feels like none of my slappy friends are interested in Woody Marks, but I love Woody Marks. I don't actually. I think Woody Marks is probably a bad player, but he's a bad rookie. And bad rookies can be anything. Yeah, none of the ball all really didn't like him. How much would you draft for selling insurance for State Farm? I mean, probably not much, right? Probably very little. Comparatively, I don't know. Gosh, that would be, I wouldn't even think about it. Yeah, low talent with projected volume. I feel really good about Braylon Allen. He's got his whole life ahead of him. Yeah, Hayden's big board rank. He just simply knew ball. It's not about the time. It's about the money. I can't imagine as an introductory salesperson, not a sales. Well, yeah, an introductory salesperson at representative at State Farm. I can't imagine I'd be getting paid very much in this economy. God, you know what's funny is State Farm probably just like straight up would not hire me. MBF, be honest. Is there any chance that State Farm would hire me at all? It's got to be really low. Like, I'm not qualified to do anything that an insurance person does. If Hampton bursts a 20-yard run tonight, yeah, he's getting juiced. I mean, that's just the way of the world. What are we at? Pick 90? Sure. I will select Chris Godwin at pick 90. I'll be brave enough. Did Mayfield... something weird must be happening in this draft. Downs? Nah. Is anything... How did Godwin get to 90? Nothing... I guess Igbuka went really early. There you go. No chance. Sales associate. An adjuster. Doesn't an adjuster have to know math? My boys work in insurance, and the barrier to entry isn't too rough, and the pay is pretty good. All right, Stoic says if I want to do marketing, he's got me. Never say never. Me, an insurance professional who has drafted 4 Chihuahuas today. There you go. There you go. ETR is sending Godwin to 0. This feels like a very appropriate range to select Chris Godwin. Even 16 games of Chris Godwin or whatever, or 14 games of Chris Godwin feels fine. I promise you this is not happening for me. I promise you trading options and flipping sports cards is so far away from... I would be so unbelievably bad at that. No one goes to college to be an insurance adjuster, so they'll train you. Well, the problem is I'm a bit of an idiot. Just be honest. Just keep it real. All right, what are we going to do here? Oh, I'm Purdy for sure. Who took Baker? Oh, the Igbuka guy. The Igbuka guy is always the enemy of the Mike Evans guy. All right, one Mr. Brock Purdy, who just became a dad. Brock Purdy just had his first child. Oh, this is the funniest name. Dontavian Wicks in the 8th says, how many drafts if you were an attorney? That feels like a lot. That feels like a lot. Like you could do, because you'd make good money. I mean, I guess you wouldn't have that much time. Yes, I should grift as an AI expert. That's a good point. Insurance is all about quantifying risk. As a fantasy football addict, you aren't qualified to work in insurance. That's true. I'm an attorney. I'm through 600 drafts. My girlfriend just took her bar exam yesterday to become an... Did she pass? Oh, I guess they don't know. It takes a while, right? Dang. Someone else must have just finished their stream because we just got a huge influx of viewers. So shout out to whoever did that. Not really a reason to take a quarterback here. David Njoku. Did you guys see that? Unable to connect to the leg up service. Check your internet connection and try again. My team is too fire that Shady had to kick me out, bro. They had to boot me out of the server. Dude, should we start a best ball law firm? If you know any financial advisors, get your Medicare enrollment license and get referrals from them. Easily make $100K a year. If you know any financial advisor, I don't think I know any financial advisors. I told one of my best friends that he should do it because he'd be really good at it. David Njoku is such a sick click there. It was like easily my biggest positional need. If I needed a running back there with McCaffrey and Kamara, I was dead anyway. Oh. What do we do here? Tracy would be sick. I actually moved Scattaboo up a good bit in my ranking. Shout out to Brandles Candles. Where did Scattaboo go in this one? 98. That's a little rich. Sad. Latavius Murray. So I definitely wrote some old RotoViz articles about old Latavius Murray. All right. We do definitely need a running back now. I am not going to take Tootin for the 4th consecutive draft on this one. If I can get him, I'm going to select Zach Charbonnet on this team. And I might even be able to get Tootin at 138. You know what, Sam Wise, you do make a good point. I'm not going to get enough Loveland drafting all that in Njoku. But man, isn't it nice to draft David Njoku? Doesn't it just feel so cozy? You just get in your little David Njoku snuggie and just know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are getting, minimum of 6.5 targets per game, probably more like 8.5 targets per game. That is what it's all about. And honestly, I would be fine. Like, it's one of those really interesting things about board texture. I would actually be fine if Warren became more expensive or if Loveland became more expensive, because then you would end up getting multiples of them. The advancement structure of the rabbit is that it doesn't exist. It's total points. It's marathon scoring, Jake. It's week 1 through 17 total points. Okay, well, obviously. Oh man, that sucks. Goodness gracious. I'm just going to take the ADP value with Ramondre here. Leone, are you proud of me? Leone, I took the ADP value with Ramondre in the 12th round. Are you proud of me? Drafting and driving. That's a no-no. Oh, I mean, Ramondre, at the very least, Ramondre is a running back too on like an offense I think is going to be decent. Like not great, but decent probably. I want more of this "Are you proud of me" character. You need to get me around. Michael more. Have you ever accidentally drafted 90% of your teams by August 1st? No, because I generally, I'm not great at very many things in life, but I do have a great sense of how many teams should be drafted. Because basically for the Best Ball Millie and for Best Ball Mania and for the main event, like for the big contest, you should roughly keep pace with how full the tournament is. So if the tournament is 50% full, then you should have about 50% of your entries done. I was talking, it's funny you asked this because I was talking with Sammy Reed. I just have an answer for you because I was talking with Sammy Reed yesterday, and he plays in a league where you can draft Travis Hunter, but there's also IDPs. And he said Hunter is like a 1-2 turn pick. Yeah, weekly winners is getting jammed. David Njoku is more like a romper. It works, but people will make fun of you. Not going to catch me in a romper, T-Bear. God, am I going to be forced to take Rachaad White? I just won't, honestly. And I know I have him ranked there. And I know I have Najee ranked here. But could we just be so serious? Sorry. Apologies. I'm not even apologizing because there's a difference between a good ranking and what me, an idiot, is going to do. And I'm an idiot. And I retain the right to draft like an idiot. I think the strategy for the sprint is basically the same as Best Ball Mania. There's different stuff with ownership, obviously, because there is no elimination of pods. Honestly, it's kind of just like a de-varianced bit of Best Ball Mania. If I had unlimited time, I would max the sprint for sure. And the marathon. I would max all this. I just don't have unlimited time. I really wish I did. Imagine how many best ball teams you could... Okay. Imagine how many best ball teams you could draft if you didn't have to sleep. If you could take a pill that would make you feel like you got perfectly well rested, 8 hours of sleep, and you could just draft and draft and draft. Imagine how many teams you could draft. You could draft. I mean, I could draft 5,000 teams, I bet. If I didn't have to sleep, I bet I could get 5,000 teams in. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. That's what you think, but I draft fewer teams than possible because I can only draft one at a time during work hours, Kramer. That's what you think. That's what you think, but you'd be wrong. Let's do Bech. No. I panicked there. I really panicked because I didn't really want to take another. I wanted to maybe set up a stack with my tight end. The Slappies are now inventing the limitless pill, but for donating more money to Underdog Fantasy. Missing the sprint is leaving 150K on the table. Yeah, like I said, I wish that it was easier and Not easier. I frankly, it's literally just a time thing for me. Oh man, I really panicked there. Oh dude. I didn't realize I only had Purdy at quarterback. It is Jover for me here. Oh, Davis, brother. Davis, you did not play this well. You played this very poorly. What is wrong with you? And I should have taken Cam Ward over Algier too. Dude, did I just invent the one quarterback meta? You make a good point. The fill rate in the middle of the night is not great. Maybe more on like Friday or Saturday, it's probably fine. Oh, I am very hip to Juwan Johnson and Tyler Shuck. I would tell you to get your guys. Next high stakes managed draft is going to be on Tuesday, Brian. If I could draft all day and night, never sleeping, I would literally go insane. I already draft while I'm dreaming. All right, there we go. We were able to secure the services of one Mr. Samuel Darnold. No, there's no naked Milrow teams. I'm not hip. I'm hip to a lot of things, guys, but naked Milrow's not. You can slap me pretty far, but you are not slapping me to that degree. Naked Milrow. Any go-to channels for redraft? Check out my boy Ron Stewart and check out my boy Flock. But Cody, I'm about to start quite literally this afternoon. I'm going to film my first redraft video. Is it crazy? No, I have Genty ranked higher than Saquon in my dynasty stuff, Mr. Frozen Gaming. Naked Milrow is so deep into the Slapverse. That's something only your slappiest buddy could conjure. Woody Marks. Hey man, that might be a fair place to draft Woody Marks. Truly. The difference is that Anthony Richardson was the number 4 overall pick in the NFL draft. Bang. Tyler Shuck. They said I didn't have a plan, and man, were they right. I had no plan. I had absolutely no plan. They said Juwan Johnson's just going to be out for a couple days. Just a couple days, David. Nothing major. Took so much Marks pre-draft and made me sad. Yeah. Isn't it funny? We don't know anything. Richardson has sucked and Milrow might not, but also Sam Darnold just got paid like $1 million. Like actually. No, way more than that. He got paid $100 million. Najee at 154 is fine. I've drafted more Milrow than Shuck. I mean, that one, I would like to clown on you, but I can't even clown on you for that. Shuck is a unique slappy to me thing. I think for whatever reason I have over-indexed on slappiness there. Let's do... Should we do Chig? Sure. Did Juwan... Oh, no, Juwan. All right. I guess I'm probably going to take a third tight end too, actually. Well, yes, but what happens when these guys suck at passing is they don't end up playing very long. Yes, this is all I agree with. Shuck has a much better chance to play 10 games than Milroe. Whew. You know what, Davis? Live a little. Your running backs are all a billion years old. Let's take well, actually, let's take Justice Hill. No, let's take get it in. Davis, do it. No. Who did I take? Okay. All right. That is so embarrassing. That's how we ended the stream, boys. Double first draft Pat Freiermuth. That's so bad. God. Why don't I just... Why is Pat Freiermuth even in my rankings? I just got to unrank him. I changed my mind. I wanted Justice Hill, and then I was like, what does Justice Hill do for this team? Oh. Yeah, State Farm is removing me. Oh! Should have just taken a Rondé Gadsden. That was not the position limits. I literally clicked yes. Why take Jalen Milroe when you could take Pat Freiermuth? All right. 2 consecutive 18th round Pat Freiermuths. That's probably good for me. I probably need to go touch some grass. All right, everyone. Make sure you like the video. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for daily fantasy football.